I'm going to start the intro now because it's...
To most, driving is just a mundane task between point A and point B. Nothing more. It's the frustration of traffic at 8 a.m. The feeling of sickness on a long ride. The car? Just a tool. It's supposed to be practical, reliable, and fast. But the speed is really the reason cars exist. Born out of a necessity to make that A to B trip just a little bit faster. Some have a deeper connection with cars, found somewhere in the bond of man and machine, a desire to be part of something bigger than yourself. It's the extension of mind and body to something more exciting than just another appliance. And these people never cared about practicality or reliability. To them, the only thing that matters is speed. We're born with a competitive nature, part of a biological necessity that is not yet worn off with time. People have raced for thousands of years, and that competition has transcended history and found its way to the industrial age. Railroads raced to build across the country, replacing the horses whose strength is still used as a benchmark for power today. And as personal vehicles became popular, the railroads died off. What once was the quickest way across the country became snail's pace in comparison. The interstate highway system expanded and cars populated every driveway. And the competition between types of transport quickly transitioned into the race to have the fastest car. Bragging rights. Manufacturers like Porsche, Ferrari, and BMW emerged in auto racing, each trying to one-up the other. Building engines became an arms race. Who could build the fastest dinosaur-powered Martinsville? So while the passion for cars has died for most, there are still people that are fascinated by racing. The sights, the sounds, the smell of burning rubber and spent race fuel lingering in the air, this is what attracts us to the sport of auto racing. We are empowered by drivers that climb in impossibly fast cars and put everything on the line for the sake of competition. Drivers who know that one slip-up can lead to disaster. And for the longest time, wishing to be a race car driver was just a childhood dream. All we could ever be was a spectator. Opportunities? Limited and expensive. Reserved only for the who's who of the racing world. Until now.
A small short track in Martinsville, Virginia is the site of Round 4 of the 2019 Outsider Racing League Series, and tonight we visit Martinsville, Virginia. This half-mile paperclip-shaped racetrack is known for bumping, banging, slamming, and sliding, and now it's time to go racing. And I'm here again with Finian DeCuna and Andrew Telganoff. And Andrew's first stream was last night with us, and he did a spectacular job, so he's back here again. Andrew, welcome back to the booth. It's good to have you up here.
Yeah, I really appreciate it, like I said, again, for the opportunity last night, first time. But I think this will be a little bit more stressful to watch than Bristol. I mean, they're both small tracks. People are going to get upset with each other, but like everybody says, it's Martinsville, man. It's going to be tough, I think.
Finian, last week at Auto Club Speedway, Mark Emerson came out and won his first race on the season at a big track, but this is really the challenge here tonight. Martinsville is known for being kind of a rough and tumble, old school style track. You got to bump and bang your way to the front. Do you think Mark Emerson can go for 2 for 2?
Oh, I definitely think he can. I think it's a little fire in him, and he's ready to go for this season. Again, didn't have the best of seasons last time around. Just missed out on getting the championship, but I think he's definitely got what it takes this season to try to chase for the championship.
Let's take a look at our track map tonight. About a half mile around this short track. 4 corners around here, and while they look simple, they're actually not symmetrical. A little bit more banking at one end of the racetrack than the other, and the concrete and asphalt mixture means if you get offline, you're going to the back. And once you get kicked out, Finian, it's a long way to the back. So restarts especially are going to be very important to be on the inside lane. And coming off of pit road, you're going to want to be an odd-numbered car to make sure that you're on the inside. Take a look at our point standings here. Eli Hinton right now qualifying at number 13, victorious last night in the Virtual Racing League race at Bristol. But in the point standings, Hinton is sitting in 6th right now. On top of the points, though, Mark Emerson, 3 top 10s and 2 top 5s so far in 3 races, so he's got the best record going. Jeff J. Wright in the number 48 car sitting in 2nd in point standings after a win at Sonoma a few weeks ago. Bailey Turner 3rd, Cabot 4th, Ronis sitting in 5th. He's got a beautiful new paint scheme tonight. And Eli Hinton sitting in 6th with Alex Bell, Elliot Butler, Alec Martinez, and Josiah Vincent rounding out your top 10. So we've seen so far this season a lot of great racing. We started at Daytona, and then we went to Sonoma, and then Auto Club, and now we're here. So this is 4 very different racetracks, Andrew. How do drivers going to have to adapt tonight going from the 2 miles of Auto Club down to the half-mile short track at Martinsville?
Well, I mean, you saw it last week. I mean, you go from that to this. This is going to take a lot more patience. I mean, yeah, I know it's Martinsville, but I mean, from a driver's point, if I'm in this race, I'm just taking it easy and trying to survive at the end and putting myself in position to win the race. And I think track position is definitely going to be a key tonight, so we'll keep an eye on possible 2 tire stops, who takes 2, who takes 4, all that. That'll be exciting.
Finian, I'm taking a look at that 77 on top of the board right now, Adam Cabot. And he's been good this year. He has not been to victory lane just yet, but he's spectacular in practice and is sitting on provisional pole right now. Expectations for him tonight?
I definitely think he's going to be one of the guys to watch, as well as Jeff Wright. Those 2 guys new for this season. Both of them at the top of most of the charts in the standings as well. They're second. Jeff Wright 2nd in the standing. Cabot 4th. They're both really strong contenders, as well as also a guy I think we should keep an eye on is Zach Halpern. He looks like he's pretty fast. Showed up last week at Auto Club. It was his first race. Here he is for his 2nd start in that 20. I think we should also keep an eye on him. He was really fast in practice.
Qualifying complete here. Adam Cabot's going to sit on the pole in that number 77 Camaro, and going to line them all up. Eli Hinton qualifying 2nd, Robert Gaba 3rd, Bailey Turner 4th, and AJ Stravato in 5th. And we're going for 220 laps here tonight, about 120 miles when you do all the rounding for the mileage there. But guys, this is going to be a fun one. We saw some spectacular short track racing last night at Bristol Motor Speedway. Basically the same group of guys. We're going to add a few more to it, but I expect to see nothing short of awesome racing tonight.
Yeah, indeed. And actually, quite a few guys didn't put down time, which I'm actually shocked. Especially a good amount of them are drivers I would expect. I would expect Halpern, Butler, Vincent, Ortega, Martinez, those guys to put down times, and they're going to be starting at the back. And they're going to have a long way forward. It's not Martinsville, not the easiest place to pass. It's going to take a while. It's going to take a few laps. However, these guys have quite a few laps to work with. They got 220 laps in tonight's race.
Yeah, Andrew, does that surprise you at all that people wouldn't qualify? I mean, it's almost like these guys are treating this like a restrictor plate race where you want to keep yourself out of trouble and then go for it at the end. But it's about an hour and 6 minutes of racing. Taking a look at Jordan Ashland qualifying all the way back in 27th, or actually not qualifying, rather. Good to see Jordan back here again tonight. Alec Martinez rocking a new paint scheme, the Monster Energy car at the back of this shot here. I'll try to get a better look. A new scheme for him, and that Vincent Motorsports number 18 has yet to find victory lane this season. But Finian, this is probably one of the most untapped talents so far. I think he's definitely got the ability to go for 3, 4, maybe even 5 wins this season, but it seems like he's still struggling to put races together from start to finish.
Yeah, indeed, and I think a lot more. He's struggling a lot more this season than he did actually, I don't know why I even said that. Yeah, he didn't show up last week. Is really why he's so far back in the points. He finished 2nd and 7th, 2nd at Daytona, 7th at Sonoma. So, but yeah, I think definitely the struggle for him is chaining these races together. But definitely it has some speed, and who knows? We might see him up in the front here later on the night.
Field's going to roll off. Again, Adam Cabot on the pole in that number 77. Let's take a look at our starting lineup here tonight. On the front row, Adam Cabot in the number 77 Chevrolet Camaro. New paint scheme on board that car. New car. I think he ran the Fusion the last couple weeks, so different vehicle for him this weekend. Alongside Eli Hinton in the Sim Motorsports car winner last night in VRL. Robert Gaba in row 2 alongside Bailey Turner's number 24. Bailey Turner running that number 24 Exalta scheme. In 5th, AJ Stravato and Josiah Vincent sharing that 3rd row. AJ Stravato in a Toyota Camry this week. 7th and 8th, Alex Bell and Chris Parkman. That's a new name to us here this week. The number 19 Chevrolet Camaro going for first ride of the season. Then Jeff Wright, winner from Sonoma, in the number 48 Toyota Camry, starting alongside Joshua Banks in the number 35. And Finney and Joshua Banks, another one of those guys looking for his first one on the season, had success last season. Maybe it's his night tonight.
Yeah, definitely think it's there's a big chance for a lot of drivers who haven't got their win yet to get them in now. Again, very early in the season, too. We're still yet to see who's going to be the guys dominating up in the front.
Chris Stouffer making a return, and Justin Rodden also back here in the number 01. Go ahead, Andrew.
Oh, no, I'm just ready for this race to begin, baby. We're heading into 3. Tell them boys to reach for them belts. Puck or whatever Daryl said. I'm just going to stop. I don't know how it goes, but we're coming to the green flag, baby.
All right, coming to the green. Adam Cabot in the 77 alongside Eli Hinton. Green flag flies. We're racing in Virginia.
And a very chaotic start up front as they head off into turn 1. Still side by side, but Cabot's going to take the lead. Eli's going to fall in for 2nd place.
Big battle behind the number 19 of Chris Parkman, brand new entrance to the series. He's got Joshua Banks and Alex Bell behind him, and then a whole group of race cars. There's a 29 Aronis, new paint scheme on board that car this week, GoPro on the hood, and then last week's winner Mark Emerson battling for 13th with Justin Rodden, and the 14 of Bruce Boyer.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of these guys quickly try to get to that inside line, the most dominant line on the track. Ooh, someone in the wall.
Yeah, it's Justin Rodden's number
Justin
01. Yep. Up front, though, still the 77 McCabbott, and then Eli Hinton, Bailey Turner up to 3rd from his starting spot of, I believe he was back in...
Ooh, Rodden gets into Butler, punts him out of line.
Yeah, it looked like Rod may have drove it in there a little hard. Then again, maybe Butler just got on the brakes a lot harder, but, I mean, it's early, man. Hopefully the guys got a little more patience than last night. We can string it out here. Man, they're still getting into it.
Yeah, these 3 guys are all kind of fighting for spots. That's the 20 is Zach Halpern, but Rodden and Elliott Butler, a little bit of displeasure there from the 6 to the back of the 01, and you see the damage on the front of Rodden's car. And Butler's going to dive back to the inside down in turn 3, try to get the spot back. Up front, guys, there's a battle going on, and Cabot has not been able to drive away from Hinton or Turner. These front 3 nose to tail. We saw a 3-way battle last night. I think we're getting ready to see the similar thing to this evening.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, Cabot loose, and here comes Eli Hinton. He's going to take the opportunity to the inside. He goes.
Eli Hinton from last night to tonight. No changes there. 13 out front. Bailey Turner trying to use the opportunity to get around Adam Cabot, 77. The Glycoflex car. Can't do it just yet, but he'll settle in line for 3rd.
Yeah, that'll happen, especially when you hit the curb.
The curb's kind of a problem we have to deal with tonight, Finney, and we've seen a lot of drivers hit that. It unsettles the car quite a bit. You don't want to get yourself in trouble by riding that thing.
Yeah, and you saw that he lost the lead just by one little wiggle. It was one small mistake, but that gave Eli Hinton the opportunity, and I think that's going to be key, too. These guys can't afford to make a mistake that would give up their position on the inside line, because if you saw, it was so easy to make the pass work.
Jordan Ashland down in turn 3 to the inside of Eddie Trejo's number 11, and right behind Alec Martinez. We talked about him pre-race. I don't think this package has really helped them a lot, but this is going to be an interesting night now that we're at the short tracks where the package really doesn't make a huge difference. So curious to see if this 18 car can get himself up farther up the road.
Oh, there goes Jordan off of turn 2. He just lost it.
Right in front of the 18, and no caution. Jordan Ashland will continue, but big damage to the nose of that car. Thankfully, shouldn't affect him too much here aerodynamically. Take a look at it.
Yeah, I'm really surprised the caution didn't come up there. He got the wall pretty good there off, too.
Just throttle up a little bit too early and bounce off the wall, and that's an interesting wreck. A lot of times you see crashes on corner entry here because the drivers getting into each other. It's rare that you see a crash on corner exit like that.
And I think part of that might be due to that these guys are expecting a lot more out of this package with more downforce. I think they're getting a little bit happy on the throttle. It's also probably due to the setup as well.
I was watching a couple cars. We got a battle for 2nd right now. Bailey Turner to the inside of the 77. Watching the brake rotors on these cars, guys. 220 laps, not an exceptionally long race, but you can certainly heat your stuff up early. And these front guys, not using their equipment up, but I was looking at, I believe, it was the number 48 of Jeff Wright. His brakes were already glowing. A bit early to be heating your tires up with that brake glow, so be easy on your equipment to make it last the whole race.
Speaking of managing your equipment, AJ Stravato, he's got a huge amount of damage to his nose. And he got that before the green flag actually came out. He got into GABA as they're coming to the green flag out of 4, and he's been dealing with that all race.
Ooh, Joshua Banks, big loose out of turn 4, and Alex Bell's number 15, both of them sliding. Seems like they're struggling with corner exit grip here early, Andrew.
Yeah, I mean, the cold temperatures, I mean, I don't know how many of these guys actually ran long runs with a set, but I mean, as fast as you're going and how fast you're going, I mean, it might be cool on the track, but them rears are going to heat up real quick.
And riding on board Jeff Wright's number 48, you see how the brake rotor's already glowing here early. And we're 14 laps in, guys. That's not very long. I mean, and he's already got those brakes glowing, Finian, so is that going to be concern for his tires over the long run?
Definitely so. I mean, if he keeps it up, that's just showing that he's also abusing the tires a lot. He's getting very late on the brakes, as the potential of a lockup can really start to wear out those tires, especially as the run goes on. So he should really try to start managing his equipment.
Josiah Vincent's number 4. He was one of those competitors last night. Ended up finishing 3rd in the VRL race at Bristol, running 7th right now at that 48 all over his rear bumper. And Vincent's already dropped a spot, so tonight doesn't look like it's going as well as last night, but still a long way to go to get yourself tuned in and move forward.
And speaking of moving forward, let's look at the 2 of Reggie Ortega. Started in 21st, already up to 14th, so he's moving up quite a few, as well as Zach Halpern in behind him, started in 20th up to 15th.
Yeah, I remember Reggie Ortega was the guy that finished 2nd last night in the VRL race, and I don't think Bristol and Martinsville could be any more different as short tracks, Andrew, but I think, you know, short track styles, and that'll cater to some drivers over some others.
Yeah, I mean, Bristol is all about momentum, like we were talking about last night.
That's going to be a caution.
Yep, Servato spun out in turn 4, and he's on the front straightaway sideways, and I'll have to wait for the whole field to go by. Caution out here early at Martinsville. We're 18 laps in, and the number 9 NOS Energy Camry out of turn 4 is spun around. Let's take a look at it.
Yeah, it looks like you may have just lost it there.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of drivers get loose, and this is not something I'm usually, you know, used to seeing at a track like Martinsville, but people struggling with that corner exit grip just throttle up and lost it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, they're just going to have to be patient here and figure it out, and just, that's all you can do, man. And when you're starting to lose the back end of the car and the exits, you're just going to have to back up the exit a little more, and they'll figure it out. Just got to give them a little time here. We're, what, on lap 18?
Well, already Taker's down to the pit lane, guys, and Eli Hinton's going to be the first one down, and the whole field coming on down. Is this a surprise, Finian, to have guys pitting this early?
Not really. We got a solid run, 18 laps, not the longest in the world, but definitely enough to wear out some of the tires.
Well, I know one guy that's going to try to stay out. That's Jeremiah Vincent's number 8. He's out there all by himself as the rest of the field comes on through for tires and fuel.
Yeah, also a big thing too is the pit stalls here, especially the guys on the turn. It's a curved pit stall, so it's going to be hard to get in, hard to get out, so these guys have to be careful.
Yeah, Cabot's in kind of sideways, but he'll get service, and 13's going to win the race off pit road. Cabot's going to lose a bunch of spots here, so it looks like he lost about 5 spots on pit lane, so not really good for the 77 here early.
Yeah, that was really tight there on exit. Good thing iRacing has a ghost, because like guys would have drove into the pit wall there off of 2. But not surprised by Hinton being up there, and Turner. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they're the only 2 that can consistently keep it up there. And it looks like Turner may have got caught for speeding.
Let's see if we can find him.
Oh yeah, he did. He stopped.
Oh man, that's a huge hit for the 24. And track position extremely important here.
Yeah, he got it on exit. He was trying to shoot out of his stall to get maybe ahead of Hinton and hit, I think, 37.
Was it a cone violation, or was he actually speeding?
It was speeding. He hit 37 coming out of his stall.
What about Emerson's 22? He's all the way back here as well. I'm not sure if he got caught for a similar situation. But Emerson started in 14th. He's running 22nd now. Looks like he had to let a couple people by. Maybe a similar situation for him.
Oh yeah, Jesus Christ, he hit 42.
These guys getting really creative on pit road trying to get positions. But, you know, this is something we're probably going to see a lot tonight. People are going to push the issue on pit road to try to get just that one extra spot. Because if you start on the outside lane, guys, you're going to go backwards really quick. So you're going to be fighting for that bottom. Whether it means trying to get an extra spot or dropping a spot to get there. We're going to see some drivers trying to do that. The 6 car back on pit lane, Elliott Butler, he's got a lot of damage front and rear.
Indeed, not sure what happened to him. I know he got the rear damage.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure that out.
I don't know where he got the front end damage.
Other side note, Jeremiah Vincent's number 8, he has visited pit lane. I think he just wanted to lead a lap. So that will turn the lead back over to Eli Hinton in the number 13. Josiah Vincent up to position number 2. We might see a rerun of last night, guys, with how this is turning out so far.
Well, like I said, I'm not surprised with Hinton being up there. I know Hinton was, you know, he likes the short tracks. Definitely likes the short tracks. Josiah's he's a short track guy too. But I don't know. Jeff Wright's moving up, and look at Reggie. He cracked the top 10. He's up to 9th now after the pit stops, guys. So we got some movers.
Yeah, Finian, you said you found what happened to the 6th car?
Yeah, no, I wasn't saying for that, but he did get damage. He got the front end damage also from getting into Justin Rodden. So he looks like he stayed in the pits to fix that. And the car actually looks in a pretty good shape.
Yeah, it looks great actually. Pace car's off, guys. We're gonna come back to the restart after our first caution on lap number 18, and we're gonna restart lap number 25, the 13, the Sim Motorsports Camry up front alongside Josiah Vincent. We're racing again here in Virginia. A great restart for the 13. Josiah Vincent did not get a good launch, and now Robert Gava's 75 up to 2nd place. This is a good run for him so far tonight.
Yeah, he looks like he's really got the speed there. He's got some left rear damage, but again, shouldn't really affect him too much as he's trying to go to the inside of Josiah Vincent.
Everyone stacked up here on the initial restart. It looks like Alec Martinez is number 18. He's trying to claw his way forward after starting back in 24th, up to 16th.
And Jeff Wright made a great move to the inside of Vincent.
15 car all out of shape.
Baby!
15 car all out of shape. And, we got more contact. He's going to get drilled from behind by the 20 of Zach Halpern. And now the 15 car's rear bumper all torn off.
Yeah, I don't think that'll affect him too much. They're not going too fast, but I think that'll affect Zach more, and I think it'll affect Alex.
Another penalty. The 35 and 24 got EOLs for unsafe pit exit. So, as the 35 of Banks had started up in 10th, but he's running 17th now after that penalty.
Yeah, you got to think. I can't rewind it right now, but maybe on the pit exit. I mean, you don't know with iRacing whether you're going to be ghosted or not, so that's probably another thing. They were just trying to avoid each other, and unfortunately, they got the penalties for the unsafe pit exit.
Still trying to get themselves spread out after the restart. Adam Cabot's number 77. He lost 5 spots on pit lane. Now he's trying to get another one back from Josiah Vincent. Vincent slipped to 4th after restarting 2nd. He's got the 77 all over his rear bumper. I still think Cabot's car is probably one of the better ones tonight. But Jeff Wright, guys, that number 48 car, started 9th up to 3rd. He's clawing his way forward in that Camry and looking good so far.
Yeah, since the restart, he's been one of the fastest guys on the track. So I think definitely we need to keep an eye on him, what he's going to do with Robert Gaba once he gets there.
Yeah, I was talking to Jeff pre-race, and he said he feels pretty confident with the car, and it's one of his favorite tracks. I don't remember you back to him when it's Sonoma, but I believe he said that he's looking really forward to this Martinsville race, one of his best tracks. So we'll see if he can keep marching forward.
Zach Halpern and Alex Bell continuing to fight for 9th place. Halpern has the inside lane now down into turn number 3. Looks like he'll get that spot away. A little bit of door-to-door contact. The 15's going to go up the racetrack. No love lost between these two here early.
Yeah, indeed, temper's starting to already flare, and we're very early on in the race. Remember, we still got almost 200 laps left to go in this race.
Eli Hinton's out to a 1.2 second lead. Andrew burning his stuff up too early here?
History has shown he likes to drive his car hard, but I mean, you can't fault the guy. I mean, that's how he's going to drive, and that's his style. But then again, you know, he's another one of them guys that just... He's got Martinsville figured out. For the life of me, can't figure this track out. Can't figure out road courses, but I mean, yeah, everybody has a talent, and I think this is definitely one of Eli's sweet spot. Yeah,
and I think if anything shown us, I think from last night especially, is that 13 he excels at short tracks. So I think he definitely, if anything, he knows what he's doing here. So we'll see.
Contact!
Trouble!
Josiah Vincent spins in turn 4. No caution. They'll
Saves
continue.
it.
Great save there, but Cabot got into his rear bumper, and they're both going to lose 5, maybe 7 spots between the two. Go back and take a look, but I think these guys just... the 77 slowed on down. I definitely don't think he meant to get in there. But the 4 left the door open and tried to turn back down to the center, and I think that caught the 77 off guard.
Yeah, I think Gavin was trying to go for the hole, but then before it closed the hole as he's getting there, they got into contact. Fortunately for them, they won't lose too many spots, but definitely going to lose some progress.
Saw Joshua Banks locking up down into turn number 1. He's fought his way back to 12th place right now, as long as he gets by the 16 of Clifton Cockrell here. Banks, remember, again, he got that EOL for an unsafe pit exit, had to restart at the tail of the end of the longest line, and now back up to 12th, so his progress is good so far.
Yeah. I definitely think the penalties here are really going to hurt these drivers because, again, it's really hard to pass here compared to other ovals. So if you get put back in the pack, it's going to take you a long time to gain back all the positions you lost.
Yeah, well, we'll keep an eye on Joshua here, and we'll keep an eye on his progress, lap times between him and Eli. But it's still, I mean, he's back in traffic, so you're not really going to get legit laps from him. But we'll see if he can keep marching forward as he gets underneath the 19 of Chris Parkman. Well, he tries to.
There was a battle for 7th going on between Alex Bell and Josiah Vincent. And Vincent had to jam on the brakes and not run into the back of Bella. Then Cabot had to lock his left front tire up to miss them. So a lot of juking and jibing going on, trying not to run into each other here early. And again, it's a long enough race where you're going to want to maintain your equipment. You don't want to bang it up this early in the race. But the 15 car's loose out of turn 4. He might lose another spot here if Vincent get down to the inside, and he will down into turn 1. Looking 3 wide, the 77 trying to go up top, but that's not going to really work out very well up there.
Yeah, and it looks like, oh, 4 gets hit from the 15 of Bell. And now he's going to go up the track, and here comes Cabot 3 wide for a moment.
Oh, man, this is close
Reggie,
stuff. Man. And Reggie Ortega, where did he start? He started all the way back in 21st. He's up to 9th, so his progress has been spectacular. And now trying to get around Josiah Vincent, and he did last night. He probably will be able to again. We got a long way to go.
Yeah, definitely a long way to go, but you see Banks and Turner, you know, after that penalty, they're getting up there, man. I don't know if Bell was having issues there. He was just, it seemed like he was really comfortable there. You know, you get knocked sideways, you get sideways, you really heat up the rears, so you got to pretty much back it down, and he's fine now. But I keep an eye on that 24 and 35. They're marching, man. Watch out.
Yeah, while we've been watching, ooh, Bell loose off the corner. While we've been watching this change up for second place, Gava and Wright have exchanged positions, so now Wright's got his sights on the leader.
And last time by, the quickest car on the racetrack was Zach Halpern's number 20, the 19.191. That was a full 10th quicker than Eli Hinton up front right now. Battle going on for 11th. It's Bailey Turner to the inside of Alex Bell. He'll take the spot down into turn 1.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see who was actually the faster guy. I mean, you got Banks back here and Turner. I mean, they're both back in traffic, but they're doing pretty good as he got to the inside of Reggie there, Banks, and he'll clear him, and I'm pretty sure Bailey won't have a problem getting by Ortega there. But I noticed the past couple laps, I'm going to keep an eye on Jeff Wright, and he's been knocking down the time there. He's at least about a half faster, at least the last time by. Yeah,
and I've been keeping an eye on that too, Andrew, and this time Eli Hinton a 19.4, so he's starting to drop off the pace. Everyone behind him is continuing to run about 19.2s, 19.3s. So Hinton's lead is going to start to dwindle here. But the quickest car on the racetrack still seems to be that 20 car at the moment. Jeff Wright also putting up lap times. They're kind of trading the best between the 48 and the 20.
Yeah, that last time by, the lap before, he was
car spun out. And Chris Stouffer's number 5.
And I was just about to say that he was doing a fantastic job. He was running in 6th.
Caution out again for the second time tonight. And another spin out of turn 4. We'll take a look, see how this happened. Yep. And same situation as before, guys. Just, ooh, that's a big hit to the inside wall, too. And this is good for the 13, guys. Short runs, he seems to excel at that. He starts getting run down in the long runs. But if we keep running 20, 30 lap runs, that 13 will be hard to pass.
Yeah, I know. I bet you love that.
Down to pit road again. Here we come. And everyone's going to come on down.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you got to pit, whether it's a 5-lap run or 10-lap run. I mean, especially when you're the leader, you got no choice. But see how the pit stops go here. Again, we're going to keep an eye on Joshua here and Bailey and make sure nobody else gets any more penalties. It gets really tight on exit, guys.
Yeah, we saw a lot of pit road penalties last time through. We'll see if we have another issue again. But pit road's been a trouble spot tonight, and leaders are down and in.
I am surprised Eli was able to pit that car. It looks like the right rear is outside the box.
That is actually okay. You can have the right rear outside of the box, but everything else needs to be inside.
And Jeff Wright looks like he beats him.
Wow. Big change there. So Jeff Wright will win the race off pit road. And his pit stop of 14.0 to Eli Hinton's 14.2. But the bigger difference, guys, was on pit lane. Jeff Wright was 1.3 seconds faster just in the pit road section itself, so, you know, ingress and egress. I think what helps is Jeff's pit stall is in a straight section, and Hinton's is not.
Yeah, indeed, and he drove through all the pit stalls trying to get up to the front there.
Oh, Jeff Wright did?
Yeah.
Now, is there a rule against that?
I was going to ask Andrew that. Is there a rule against...
Well, there was, because didn't Shelton get hit for that at Watkins Glen last year?
I think he did,
Ooh, interesting there. That could be a problem for the 48. but trade on the lead on pit road, and Hinton back to second. Gaba is having a spectacular night in that 75 car. We mentioned it before. And he started in third, so he's been maintaining his position, but we have not seen that 75 be competitive for wins yet. This could be his night. If he hangs around in third on a late race restart, that's a good place to be.
Yeah, and it looks like Jordan stayed out, so he should get the wave around. I don't think anybody else is a lap down. Christopher, I believe he retired for the event, so, I mean, I don't blame Jordan for staying out anyways. I think he still would have got the lucky dog, so I don't know why he actually stayed.
Okay, so I'm looking at the rule books here, and it says no driving through more than 2 pit stalls before your own when pitting.
Oh.
Doing so will result in a pass-through penalty under green or an EOL under caution.
So we'll see if that gets ruled on, but for now, the 48 sitting up front, guys, so it's going to work out for him for now, and they'll put Hinton on the outside, so this could change up how the race runs, and keep an eye on Joshua Banks, that 35, after that penalty after the last pit stop sequence. He's got his way up, backed up to 7th. So he's in a great spot. Pace car's off. We'll be restarting lap number 53. And coming back to the restart, green flag flies. We're racing again here at the paperclip, and Jeff Wright gets a spectacular restart. Hinton gets clear of third, and they get down to turn number 1. And look at Halpern on the outside trying to get around Gaba, trying to make that work.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the faster guys that last run. But again, Bailey and Banks are still moving up here. Still side by side for third here. Looks like he's going to clear him though, going into 1.
Adam Cabot running up the racetrack, and that outside lane, Finian, seems to kind of work early in the run, but it seems to die off after that. Now look at Eli Hinton. He's trying to go the long way around up for Jeff Wright for the lead.
Yeah, indeed, and I think he's trying to find some sort of way around this 48 because I think he feels that the 48 is gonna drive off into the distance if he stays behind him.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm in Wright's position, I don't drive the car any different. You keep pounding away. Don't drive it harder because you're leading, because you were obviously a lot faster later in the run. But he's still pulling him a little bit, so we'll see if he burns his stuff up.
And look at the 35 of Joshua Banks. Guys, he might be a competitor for the win tonight. He's sitting in 5th place right now after having to go all the way to the back. So as long as his internet holds on and every other issue he's had in the past stays away, that 35 car might be a contender tonight.
Yep, and look who's right behind him, following him all the way through, man. I'm telling you, this could be a good battle here, shaping up here.
Yeah, Bailey Turner's 24 all the way from the back as well. These guys kind of follow each other back to the front. And Turner to the inside of Adam Cabot for 6th.
Pretty impressed, though. I mean, guys, what do you think? I mean, we're 58 laps into it, and you guys are getting into each other a little bit, but it seems like there's a lot more give than take. I mean, early on. Yeah. I don't want to jinx it.
Well, it's
I mean, it's still early, you know.
We've only seen single car incidents bring out yellows, so everyone's been pretty fine and dandy. We've seen a couple people get upset with each other, but nothing that has caused cars to loop around. One thing I will note, guys, is that just up ahead of this great battle for 4th, Zach Halpern's putting pressure on Hinton for that 2nd spot. So I think when Hinton's not out front, he doesn't seem to be as strong.
Yeah, it might be him just getting kind of stuck in some dirty areas. It's really hard for him.
That was a block.
Big block on the front straight. Joshua Banks going to keep that 75 of Gaba behind him, and now Bailey Turner's all over the bumper with the 75, but big block there. And blocking is kind of a self-policing situation, guys. If you do it too much, you'll get yourself dumped.
Especially in stock cars and especially at a short track, it's very self-policing because you don't need the admins to put you in the back. Someone will put you there for you.
Yeah, I mean, at times I've made more enemies than friends. I mean, I'm not the type of guy you want to block, but, you know, one time's okay. Second time, you know, you're probably going to go around and you're not going to like the result.
Up front, though, this battle for 2nd is getting more and more interesting. Banks now to the inside of Halpern. And, guys, I'm telling you, this 35 car, one of the quickest on the racetrack right now. And, whoa, slip up. And behind him, too, Bailey Turner to the inside of Gaba. He'll take that spot away.
Yeah, Turner also, haven't talked a lot about him. He's been very consistent in the VRL Xfinity Series, currently leading the points over there. And even in Outsiders 2, he's been doing a solid job. But has been really dying for a win. Oh, and Halpern loses.
Oh, what a save.
Great save.
He'll lose that spot to Joshua Banks, though, as Banks clears him and goes around. But a big slide out of turn 2 for the 20 of Zach Halpern, and he'll have to collect him. He's going to lose more than one spot. Bailey Turner, opportunistic as well to the inside.
Yeah, I think really these 5 guys right now in the top 5, any one of them has got a fantastic shot of getting the win here. They're all really fast drivers and all really hungry for the win.
Now the question is, how long does it take Joshua Banks to dispose of that number 13 Camry, and can he go up there and compete with Jeff Wright? He was quicker last time through than both the guys in front of him, so I don't think it'll take Banks too long to get around.
Yeah, Banks has really got it figured out. I mean, as the race progresses on, I mean, the track temp is going to drop. The guys are going to get more grip than what they have now. Times are going to pick up. But there he goes, man. I'm telling you, Joshua Banks and Turner's right behind him, so it's really hard to tell who's the actual fast guy here. Turner's keeping up with him.
So brake rotor's glowing on the 13, guys, so he's already really pumping those brakes, trying to get the thing slowed down. So I don't think he's liking the handling of that car. And taking a look at the conditions, guys, it's relatively cool out here, but I think that's letting them push the cars more than they usually would, and that's making Eli Hinton's brakes a little warm. And look at him. He just drove all the way back up to Jeff Wright's rear bumper in one corner, but both the leaders' brakes hot right now.
Yeah, Hinton did a fantastic job defending on the outside lane from Banks. I thought he was going to get passed easily by him, but Banks is going to have to mount up another charge.
Yeah, the thing I noticed about this track when I've ran it is you can actually get in the throttle as he gets into Banks, gets into Hinton there. You can actually get in the throttle a little earlier on the exit 4 than you can in 1 and 2. I mean, the wall comes at you pretty quick.
Josiah Vincent and Clifton Cockrell trading positions for 10th. The 16 car will complete that pass out of turn 2, and right behind is Angelo Ronas, is number 29, who started 12th. He's running 12th, so par for the course tonight for the Ronas car.
Yeah, here he comes, man. I'm telling you, here comes Banks, and I tell you what, let's see if we'll see if the 48 can actually pull away here.
Whoa! Big dive to the inside, and oh man, he drove it in there a mile, and he managed to make it stick. But that outside lane is a lot better for defensive driving than offensive, and Hinton's being able to hold on for now. And Banks' internet is struggling again. That's been his Achilles heel in the past.
Yeah, indeed, and I think really Banks is going to have to force Eli out of the way into entry and try to clear him on exit.
Oh, man, they're close quarters here. But that 35's brakes are not as hot as the 13, so he's got a lot left in 24. It. And look at
Bailey Turner.
Careful.
Oh, man, they're playing with fire here, guys.
Oh, man. Are we at 10 to go here?
It seems like it. Whoa, crowding him out of turn 4. And now the 35's got a nose ahead. He should be able to complete it down here in turn 2. The question is, can Bailey Turner make a pass as well? He's going to try.
Yeah, I mean, Eli's got the run on the outside. Eventually, he's going to fall to the 24 here. He's just going to have to give him.
Yeah, these guys are, again, playing with inches and doing a great job of keeping it clean. A little bit of rubbing, but, I mean, they could have easily punted each other out of the way for this, and they're doing a great job battling.
Well, the interesting thing is they're battling, and they're actually staying with Jeff Wright. Jeff has not been able to pull away, and usually when you got guys battling behind you, it's what, this gives these guys a big advantage, but Wright's not been able to make a gap, and the 35's going to spin and right into the fence. Caution out. Man.
So we get to watch 35 come through the field again, probably?
Well, he's got a lot of time left to go. I mean, he can do it, but man, that's disappointing for Banks. I think he's the quickest car on the racetrack.
Did he actually get the curb there?
Yeah, he did. That's what sent him around.
Yeah, clipped it. And sent him right around into the fence, and he got some more front-end damage now. Just not what the 35 wanted to see. Yeah, just nibbled it on the inside, and it's crazy how easily that goes around once you feed in the 750 horsepower.
Yeah, I'm curious of what his temperature's going to do, because you do not want to have nose damage, especially the RPMs are turning at the end of straightaways. I'm sure they're almost redlining it, and then plus the nose damage, being in traffic, it all adds up.
Oh, guys, watch the pit road entry here. Everyone's kind of getting stacked up on entry. There was a lot of brake checking going on, but we're all sorted out now. So again, to your point, Andrew, the fixing the damage, it's worth it for the 35 to fix it right, because you don't want to just ignore it and end up blowing your engine 20 laps from now. It's better just to take the time now under yellow, get it fixed, and have a good car for the rest of the race.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, he's got nothing to lose. I mean, he's in the back again. So we'll see what happens, see if he can actually drive through the field again. So we'll keep an eye on him and see who wins the race off pit road here.
48's going to win it by a mile. Here comes the 13. He'll get that spot ahead of Bailey Turner. 3 wide off as everyone else tries to get Turner, Cabot, and Halpern.
Thank God for the ghosting.
Yeah. I don't know how these guys do it in the real world, man. I can't believe they don't tear up cars every lap.
I don't know if you ever ran NR 2003, but if this was NR 2003, it'd be a mess.
Oh yeah, we are not too young for that game. That was where it all started. But Brian Chambliss is 21, is dropping down the order here. I think he's on pit road getting damage repaired. And off he goes. Problem is, Martinsville under green, forget about fixing damage. You're going to go 7, 8, 9 laps down under caution.
Speaking of going laps down, I think Banks has gone a lap down. Is he in the car?
Yep.
Yeah, he is.
He is a lap down. However, I don't think this is that bad of a situation for him because he could just as easily take a wave around and get a free pass. One of those two options. I don't think this is night over for him just yet. Again, it's worth it to fix the damage now and just try to avoid getting more.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see another caution. I mean, these guys are... Seems like it's picking up a little bit, but no, I think Banks will be fine. He gets another caution, and he'll be back on the lead lap.
3 cautions so far for only 12 laps, so out of the 79 we've done, not a huge proportion. We've had 6 lead changes, though, which in 80 laps, that's quite a few. But Jeff Wright leads this race. Ahead of Eli Hinton, Bailey Turner, Zach Halpern, and Adam Cabot. That's your top 5. There's the one to green.
Yeah, I'm real curious to see what's going to happen here with, you know, the 48's probably going to get the jump and clear him, but I'm really curious to see what's going to happen here between Turner and Hinton. Really, really curious.
The rest of the field lining up behind. There's Reggie Ortega sitting in 7th place right now. And I think he'll be a factor by the time we're to maybe lap 150. All right, pace car's pulled off. Little crowding up the racetrack. Interesting moves here, but the 48 of Jeff Wright's the control car. Green flag's back in the air here at Martinsville.
Yeah, they race off into turn 1. Hinton's going to try to hold something on the outside lane, but Bailey Turner's going to be to the inside of the 13. See how this plays out.
On fresh tires, you can make that outside lane work if you're really aggressive. The clouds have come over the racetrack, maybe making this a bit easier. And 13 gets a great run out of turn 4, and he's going to clear the 48. Great power move around the outside for the 13, and a mess down into turn 1. Reggie Ortega on the inside, Parkman on the outside, Vincent trying to get to the inside of the 19.
Ooh, almost contact between them. The back up front battle for second between Bailey Turner and Jeff Wright.
Turner to the inside, he'll easily clear the 48. And here comes Halpern to try to take a helping for himself.
Yeah, teammates are there in 3rd and 4th, throws a block. Yeah.
And Halpern linked to the outside now, and he's going to tuck back in, so yeah, they'll remain 3rd and 4th. Oh, now to the inside he goes.
Big dive down into turn number 1. Oh, almost some side-to-side contact there. But the 48, again, that outside lane, guys, maybe not a great place to make a pass, but you can certainly defend really well up there because you get such a good run off the corner.
Yeah, and as a car owner, I'm up on the 48, and that's one you're listening. I hope you guys take care of each other. And Bailey is all over the 13, like I've been saying. Watch that 24.
Yeah, I'm curious because the 13 was so good that first run, Finney. And what do you think has changed in that? Maybe the rubber picking up the racetrack? It seems like that 13's lost a lot of pace.
It might be just the inside line, I guess, maybe getting oversaturated, although I'll be kind of surprised with that at this point, but I think that might be affecting him.
48 hit the curb on corner exit. Didn't upset the car as much as it did for Joshua Banks. But now the 24 all over the back of Hinton and almost gives him a bump out of turn 4, but he's going to have a great run and a look to the inside down the front straight.
He's going to look. I think Hinton's going to be able to hold him here. Hinton's been really good on the outside lane.
And I think he's choosing that outside on purpose. And remember last night in the VRO race, we saw lots of different lanes being chosen, but Bristol is known for that. Martinsville, generally a single lane racetrack. Great battles for the lead here, guys. It's been a spectacular race so far. No one's really been out front more than a second and a half since the first run. And Turner all over that 13 for the lead. And I think we might see the bumper get used here in short order. Can't sit around a guy behind too long.
Yeah, looking on back, everyone fairly sorted out, single file, not too many battles going on.
And Bailey Turner sitting in second. He's got damage, Finney. It doesn't seem to be affecting him at all, but you know, my question becomes, if he's already got damage, if he gets into drivers later in the race with that nose, is he going to have less car to use to get around somebody later?
Yeah, I mean, again, only these drivers know how badly damaged the car is to the point where it could be overheating. So he might face that scenario, and he might not. It depends on how if it damages the radiator. So we'll have to keep an eye on him. I think he should be good, even if he gets a few more dents. But you never know.
Front 5 or 6 cars all lined up in a freight train on the front straightaway. Mark Emerson, last week's winner, in 10th, but he's got a freight train behind him as well. Ronas Parkman and others lined up behind him. But I was still watching that battle out front. I don't want to pull away because we could see contact, and Bailey Turner's beginning to put more pressure on the back of that 13, Finian. I mean, I think Turner is going to get... Oh, here he goes for the dive to the inside. A great move down there, late move. Kind of took Hinton by surprise, but now the question is, can he get the run off the corner? Not quite.
Nope. Yeah, I think he really needs to force Eli out of the lane, like way out of the lane beyond like concrete.
Oh, slip!
Oh, and he clips the curb and he gets turned around by the 48, and that is...
And caution.
Boy.
Oh, no! Right in front of the 9 car, and the 24 car is destroyed. No! With such a great race car, that 24 is done. Oh... You gotta feel for Bailey Turner, man. That is such an unfortunate... And for AJ Stravato as well. I mean, Stravato's car is just absolutely destroyed. Tragic moment for the 24. Vinny, and he had one of the best cars all night. And he slipped on the curb right there. Gets the curb. 48 helps him around. He spins, and then right here is the mistake. He thinks he's clear. And then he tries to spin it back around, and Stravato just had nowhere to go. And big contact out of turn 2 is going to take both those cars and put them potentially in the garage.
Yeah, no break. I think he thought he was just about clear of traffic, and then, damn, just really unfortunate for both Turner and Stravato.
Yeah, and Stravato, he didn't see anything. We're watching it on board. Didn't see anything until the last second, and another car got involved in that. That was Eddie Trejo's number 11 that got a piece as well. So both those cars absolutely destroyed. But that's going to be a big shakeup in the race here. Pit stops underway. And we've had quite a few different strategy changes. Brian Chambliss, Jordan Ashland, Bailey Turner all in pit road. And now Joshua Banks, Finian, out up front. And he did not pit this sequence. And I think, is he going to go for a wave around potentially?
Yeah, he stayed out for that. He gets the lucky dog.
So Banks is going to get to go back around, so that will turn the lead back over to Eli Hinton, and Zach Halpern is going to inherit second place. Jeff Wright will come out. He'll retain 4th once he gets by Joshua Banks' car, but again, a huge mistake, and that's something that's got to be very frustrating for Stravato, Finian, because over and over there's a repeated importance on safe rejoins back to the racetrack, and Turner had to back up a little bit to get that yellow to fly. I think that's why he backed up a little bit. But then probably should have waited another couple seconds in hindsight. But that car is going to be pretty much useless the rest of the night.
Yeah, indeed. And I was kind of curious on how Halpern was able to beat out Wright to get ahead of him. And I was looking at his pit road. When the jag dropped, he shot out of his pit stall, hit 41, and then backed it all the way down. So he gained some time by doing that. And I think that helped him get in front.
Playing with the timing lines a little bit, not a bad strategy. We've seen people play pit road games here and at Bristol and other tracks that are very single lane, but pace car lights are off. Come back to the restart here on lap number 100, so we're closing in on halfway in this race, about 38 minutes remaining. And I wouldn't say the 13's been dominant, Finian, but he's made the least mistakes of anybody up front. We've seen Joshua Banks be faster and have a crash. We've seen the 24 be faster and have a crash. Seems like these guys are, once they get onto the back, it seems like it's a struggle. But coming back to the restart lap number 100, Eli Hinton's number 13 Camry's going to lead them back down. Zach Halpern, one of the quickest cars on the track all night, will have an opportunity to get there. Green flag flies, are racing again here. And Hinton gets a great restart. Everyone else fans out behind.
Yeah, Halpern got a poor restart. Here comes Cabot. Now he's back up in the front here. He's trying to fight for the lead. He's trying to get back by the 20. Can't get it done. Here goes Bailey Turner back out on the track.
Yeah, right in the middle of the leader gaggle. Oh, he gets turned again! And this time, caution flies out, and he's spun out of turn 4, and now the questions start rising here, Finian. Why rejoin right in front of the leaders?
Yeah, and I think also that's his second caution that he caused. I think that might be a park.
Let's go back and take a look. Yeah, and we'll go back again. He hits the curb again, and I don't know if he gets a hit from the 77 or not, but clip the curb again. That curb has been deadly tonight, but here's another look. Clips the curb, and yeah, he does get a help from the 77, but the question is, here's his release from pit lane, and I understand he's trying to keep on in the same lap, but returns right in front of the leaders, and that's just bad timing, and it resulted in the second caution of the night. All right, so we're going to wad him back up again and take a look at the caution information on the night. 5 cautions for a total of 18 laps, 9 lead changes. Vinny, it's been really competitive once we get rolling.
Yeah, indeed. Here, I mean, it's a pretty good green flag runs intersperses the only real back-to-back yellow we've had all night.
Elliott Butler comes back down to pit lane. He'll be the only one that I can see that's going to come down first service of this front group. And Jeremiah Vincent will come down. Jeremiah's been fighting all night to get this thing running up towards the front. Doesn't have a whole lot of damage, but he's been kind of off sequence with the pit stops all evening, and doesn't seem to be getting any better. Where's the 35 car, though, Finney? Up to 17th, back on the lead lap. Great for him, because he can come in and get some fresh tires and fuel, and it looks like he didn't come yet. I wonder if he'll come this time at all.
He already got tires on the last stop.
Oh, so he's good. All right, because he had a free pass and not just a wave around. So we'll see if Banks can climb up his way through the field again. We have 116 laps to go at the line. Or 117, rather. And that's a long way. We're not quite to halfway, so we've seen Banks drive up to the front at about 30 laps. He's got plenty of time to do it, and again, he's been one of the quickest cars all night. We'll see if he can make that climb up forward. Alex Bell, also, his night went from bad to worse. He got involved in a couple incidents. Well, Chris Parkman, though, fitting in first drive of the season that I can remember, and I don't know if he was at Auto Club last week, but started 8th, running 10th, a good solid top 10 run for him so far.
Yeah, he's doing a great job. Very quiet night for him.
All right. So, 1 to green here. Lights are out on the top of the pace car. And Eli Hinton's going to lead them back down. He got a great restart last time. I wonder if Zach Halpern learned anything to see if he can be as competitive on that outside lane as Hinton was with the 48 before.
Yeah, well, he got a poor restart, so I think if he can get it turned around this time, he got a second lease on life here. If he can get a good restart, he should have a shot.
Coming back to the green flag, lap 106. Hinton fires off and drives away. We're racing again, lap 105. Adam Cabot trying to get himself back up into the mix. Jeff Wright's got some left front damage, I think, just a tick on the left front. Shouldn't affect him at all, but I'll take note of it. Reggie Ortega up into the fight, guys. Top 5 for him right now, and he's looking for 4th on the 48.
Yeah, and he's trying to, I was going to say, the 40 was stuck on the outside lane. He's been able to slot him.
Oh, big crash in front.
And Ortega.
Whole field wadded up, and it's the 22 of Emerson turned right across the nose of Vincent, and the whole field has to come to an absolute dead stop. And wait here, guys. Let's get this all sorted out the right way this time, and there we go.
Oh, boy. Yeah, that was
a big mess out of turn 2. And cautions breed cautions, as they say. This started with the 22 and 14. They got together. And what a mess that was. Here's a look from up above. And so the 14 leaves a gap. The 22 tries to fill it. They just get together, and then just absolute traffic roadblock here. And Josiah Vincent does a good job trying to miss it, but still gets damage. 19 of Chris Parkman has to stop to miss it. And Casey Lakatos is number 50. Let's ride on board with him here, Finian. He had to basically drive on the old pit lane to miss this.
He actually got hit from behind. He was actually trying to drive straight. He got hit. I'm not sure who it was. It was Ashland that got into him, that sent him down into the garage area.
Well, and that's not sure. He had his car was squeaky clean and just had to take a left to miss this, and got help from Ashland and spun right down into the garage. Angelo Ronis is also kind of caught up in that. Just a big stack up, and right on board Josiah Vincent's car as well, because he had almost missed this and then tore the nose off with getting into Emerson. Man, this is frustrating for these guys. Oh, man. And Vincent had to weave back and forth, but a big mess out of turn 2 on lap 106. And we'll try it again, restart here, but now we're at halfway. Half the field's torn up, Finney, and half the field's going to come to pit road. Half of them will stay out on the racetrack.
Yeah, indeed, that caution helped the Bailey Turner. That puts him back on the lead lap.
All right, I don't think we had an in-race reporter planned here, Finian, but is Zach Halpern around to the 20?
I can go grab him.
Is he around, though, is the question.
Here he is.
Hey, Zach Halpern, it's Kyle from SimTV. You got a copy?
10-4.
Well, buddy, it's been kind of a wild race so far. You're running very well up in second place behind Eli Hinton. How's the race been so far? How's the handling of that car, and what do you need to get around the 13?
Car feels good, even with that damage from earlier in the race with 15 car. I thought it might hurt me, but it's holding together pretty well. I'm just going to stay patient here. Hopefully 13 makes a mistake. You know, we still got a lot of racing left, so just keep driving.
All right, well, we're going to let you get back to work here. I think we're 1 to green, so good luck out there and keep it out of the fence.
Thanks, man.
All right, so we're going to come back to the green flag again this time, and we'll try again after kind of a wild sequence. We've had 3 cautions in quick succession. And Eli Hinton has been in control for the last couple times. Halpern, Cabot, Ortega, and Gaba, your top 5, and Finney and Ortega sitting in a good spot here for the restart.
Yeah, indeed, he's now on the outside lane in 4th, so we'll see what he can do from the starting position. But green flag back in the air. Eli gets a great start as usual.
Yeah, he's been able to launch right at the exit of the corner where most of the field is still turning, and he can get a straight launch off, but Cabot in the 77 to the inside. Here's Casey Lakatos launching from pit road. We saw this not work out well last time for the 24. Right in the middle of the leaders, they're going to have to go the long way around the 50.
Yeah, I'm sure these guys behind the 2 leaders don't like this, so they got to work their way around some line of traffic already. So when Ortega is going to use this to his advantage, he's going to go to the inside of Cabot. There's a fight for 3rd place.
Remember last night Ortega finished 2nd in the VRL race at Bristol, and he's good at the short tracks. He likes them quite a bit, and he's in a great spot. Now, if he can get himself into 3rd and just hang out there until the late race restart, where it's inevitably going to happen, he'll be sitting right in the catbird seat. But still fighting with the 77 of Cabot for 3rd place. There's Robert Gaba behind him, and Joshua Banks finishing all the way up to 6th. He's somehow managed to get there in a couple caution laps.
Yeah, solid job by him moving him, getting himself back up there. He's definitely back in this.
Stack up down into turn 3. Now it's Ortega, Cabot, and Gaba. And then add Joshua Banks into the mix. And Gaba's going to move himself back up into 4th, but can he clear the 77 easily? He uses him up a little bit on exit, but here comes the 35 of Banks. Some contact between the 75 and 77. But Banks all the way down to the inside lane, and he'll have a drive down beside the 75. Ooh. Contact there, slips, and he'll lose that spot.
Yeah, he's definitely working it there. He's going to be back side by side with the 77. Should be able to get clear. And indeed he does, so he's going to keep 5th place.
Here's Elliott Butler up in 7th after starting 19th. It's been kind of an up and down night for the 6. Oh, Lakatos loose up front, right in front of Ortega. He's going to get knocked out of the way. And Ortega's going to try to get around this lap car and set his sights on the 20 of Halpern.
Yeah, indeed. Now we can see what Ortega's got for the leaders. Haven't seen him all the way up here yet, so this is a good gauge of his pace.
And really struggling to get by Lakatos, and I think Lakatos has fresher tires, and yes, by a pretty significant margin, about 15 laps. That's going to make it difficult. But for the leads, Zach Halpern right on the tail of Eli Hinton. We've seen Eli lose pace over the course of a long run, and we have 100 laps to go.
Yeah, indeed. And if he starts to fall off, Halpern's right there behind him, ready to pick up the scraps. So he can't afford to make a mistake here. That 20 is right there.
Bailey Turner, Mark Emerson fighting all the way back for 19th place. This race has not gone well for either of them, and both of them were running relatively good in the points, so it's going to be a long night for them. Alec Martinez, we haven't talked a whole lot about Alec tonight, Finney, and he wasn't really having a good run, but now he's fighting for 9th with Jeff Wright, and not a scratch on that car, so he's got a lot of race car left to use.
And we started to see him come up to the front, as well as Jordan Ashland. He's in 8th place, and we saw him spin out of the corner at the beginning of the race, and now here he is in 8th place.
So Ashland and Alec Martinez recovering for late race runs. But for the lead, Eli Hinton and Zach Halpern, and Hinton's running a bit of a defensive line. Halpern goes a long way around. Now the brake rotor is on the 20, glowing, and Eli's going to give him that outside lane. Interesting strategy there here.
Yeah, indeed. Now we'll see what Halpern can do with it. We'll see if he can maintain the run. He's definitely got some speed up there.
Yeah, he's found something in the clouds over the track. We mentioned it earlier, giving him the run, and it looks like Zach Halpern's actually going to get that spot away. So Halpern to the lead here, lap 124. Hinton back to second. Ortega still fighting with that lap car of Lakatos for third.
Yeah, Lakatos 1 lap down, and I think he's trying to fight to stay as far as he can up in the pack.
Oh, Ortega gets loose.
Yeah, and so he's going to fall back behind Lakatos. Oh, Gaba getting turned by the 77 behind, caution back in the air.
So Robert Gaba spins out of the final corner, and he looks like he had a bit of help, but it seems like all these guys that have been having spectacular runs keep getting knocked to the back and having to claw their way forward again. And the lone exception, the guy that's been able to keep getting himself back up there, is Joshua Banks in the 35. Let's take a look from up above here. And yeah, there was a bit of a hole, but the 77 kind of forced the issue there for me. But again, it's a hole that closed, and two guys going for the same spot. And Cabot lost a couple spots in that chaos as well. Right on board at the 77.
Alright, I gotta step away from the mic, so I'll be right back before green.
Alright. Anyway, we're going to talk about the 50 of Casey Lakatos. He was fighting so hard to get himself, or get his lap back, and he's going to get it with the free pass. So that will return him back on the lead lap. He'll get to come down, take tires and fuel. Meanwhile, the rest of the leaders are on pit lane. And we'll see if Eli Hinton can beat out the 20 car, but Halpern already out. He's going to retain the lead. Eli Hinton comes out second. And interestingly, the 35 of Joshua Banks, he's going to be in position number 3 for the restart. That's provided that Robert Gaba and Casey Lakatos come to pit road, which they have. So Zach Halpern will be your leader when we come back to the restart here in a couple minutes. Well, it's been a wild one so far tonight. We've had 7 cautions for 29 laps, 11 lead changes. It's been a competitive race. We've had some drivers run into each other. We have some tempers flaring, but all in the name of a good Martinsville race. We were at Bristol last night, and for the last 80 or so laps, we had a 3-way battle for the lead with Eli Hinton, Reggie Ortega, and Josiah Vincent. Those 3 are spread out across the running order a lot more tonight. Hinton running in 2nd, Ortega in 4th, and Josiah Vincent right now running all the way down in 17th with significant damage to his car, although he's gotten it repaired to a pretty good standard here. Bailey Turner also back down on pit lane, and that car still in bad shape.
Alright, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Needed to take some painkillers. My mouth is killing me still.
I figured. Alright, I was mentioning the 50 car got the free pass, so he is back around on the lead lap again. Zach Halpern won the race off of pit road. And Joshua Banks will be restarting in position number 3. I still like that 35 car. Alright, let's make our picks here, Finian. You can go first.
I'm going to pick the 35 car.
Okay, I'll make it easy. I'll pick the 20 car, Zach Halpern. He's leading the race. And he seems like he's quicker than the 13, and he's made less mistakes than a lot of the other drivers alongside that 13. I just think the only thing going against Banks is that he's found some trouble tonight, and I don't know if late in the going he'll be able to avoid that. So we're going to find out. We're going to have 99 laps to go at the restart. About 28 minutes of racing remaining here at Martinsville Speedway. Pace car's off. The 20 of Halpern up front. He's got Joshua Banks and Adam Cabot behind him. In the outside row, it's Eli Hinton, Reggie Ortega, and Elliott Butler. Green flag back in the air. Halpern gets a great jump out of turn 4, clears the 13, and runs up the racetrack.
Indeed, fantastic restart. And Banks gets into the 13. No harm, no foul there. He was trying to get to the inside of Elliott Hinton. He's going to try now in turn 3.
Takes a dive to the inside. He's going to get the nose in there, and Hinton's really got to fight this because the 13 car was quicker for the majority of the race. And so they're going to fight this position really hard. Down into turn 1. I don't think the 13's got the pace to do it. Best he can do is get clear, then pull down in front of the 2 car, which he will do. So Ortega will have to work his way by the 13 car now. Battle behind him. Alec Martinez in 9th. He's got Ronas inside trying to take it away, and they're both trying to get around Jordan Ashland in the 27.
Indeed, Ronus in that beat-up GoPro Camry. He's trying to work his way up to the front.
But now Eli Hinton's got Ortega and Elliott Butler behind. Ortega leaning on the rear bumper just a bit through turns 3 and 4. Butler behind doing the same exact thing, but they're side by side out of turn 4. Ronus, and is that Alex Bell? Yes, it is, in the number 15. Lipton Cockrell of the inside of Chris Parkman down in turns 3 and 4. And just ahead you see Bell and Ronus fighting for a spot. Bell on the outside lane. We've seen that outside be better as the nights run on here, Finney. Maybe the rubber is starting to accumulate, make that outside a more viable line.
Yeah, definitely. As more and more guys have started to use it, it's definitely going to become more and more viable and usable as this run goes on. So definitely, I think we're going to see guys start to try to use it.
Caution! Oh, right in front. Butler and Alec Martinez hard in the fence. Caution out again. And Butler, we were just talking about how he was having a great night running in 5th. And Alec Martinez had his night finally going in the right direction. Both of them. Oh, Martinez hits the wall out of turn 4, getting it turned back around. And this is a mess over here. Let's take a look.
Yeah, and this is, I think, a classic chain reaction crash.
Oh, Reggie Ortega gets slowed up. Then the 77 gets into the back of the 6. Jordan Ashland doors the 6 right up into the path of Alec Martinez. Nothing Martinez could do. Got a feel for him there.
Yeah, nothing really anyone could have done in that.
And that's got to be so frustrating as a driver when you don't really have any choice in the outcome. You know, when you wreck your car, you can usually say, all right, well, it was my fault. But in this situation, nothing the 18 could do ends up in the concrete. And Elliott Butler just a victim there. That's right on board Butler's car. And you're going to see the 2-car of Reggie Ortega check up. And Butler jams on the brakes and then he gets run into from behind. And classic accordion effect here. And he had the wheel all the way jammed to the right, the counter steer. And Ronus gets a huge piece of it too. Ronus, another guy that was having a good night. Right on board with the 29. And again, Ronus is trying to get slowed down and just couldn't in time. The whole field trying to spread out behind. But Finney, this is running a very different race than we saw last night at Bristol. Bristol, the first half was an absolute nightmare between cautions and crashes, and tonight it's been a lot more spread out, the incidents. Doesn't seem to be correlating, although the first half of the race did seem to be a bit cleaner.
Yeah, we've been getting quite a decent stretch of cautions in this middle part of the race. I think it'll start to clean itself out. I think guys are getting racing here. And also, it's been really just caused by some minor stuff. No one really being too overly aggressive and a lot of single car spins. So I think that's just kind of par for the course here.
I think we got Andrew back. Andrew, how you doing?
Yeah, I had my assistant help me out over here, bringing out the backup headset. We're good now. We're good. Sorry, I know everybody missed me. I feel like I missed the whole race. So we're back. We're ready to roll. And it doesn't seem like much has changed within the top 3.
No.
And that was really unfortunate with Bailey, though, earlier. I mean, he had one of the best cars. I was really shocked to see him just look like he just lost it, if I stand correctly.
Yeah, he clipped the curb a bit, so that helped him around. And then trying to get the car spun back around, got AJ Stravato involved. But we've kind of just mixed up the top 3. But Joshua Banks, guys, he's been spectacular. Gone to the back twice and has fought his way back to the front. Eli Hinton will be 3rd alongside Reggie Ortega. Those two fought hard last night. But Zach Halpern, your leader. We've had a quick succession of cautions the last couple laps. We'll see if these guys get all sorted out. Coming back to the green flag, lap 142. Green flag back in the air. Halpern gets a good start. Not quite as good as last time, though. Banks right behind him for the restart.
Yeah, Banks going to fall in line to 2nd place. Eli Hinton trying to take away 3rd from Reggie Ortega. And how about Casey Alcades? He didn't pit on that last caution. The entire top 5 didn't. He's up in the 5th place now.
That's a great, remember, he was a lap down about 2 cautions ago, so he's fought his way back. But Joshua Banks all over the back of the 20 car. I think he'll be your leader here shortly, but Adam Cabot fighting with Alex Bell for 6th place now. It looks like Cabot will be able to get that spot back. Jeff Wright's car all bent up after his collision he had earlier.
Yeah, it seems like everybody has some sort of damage here. Beside Eli, and yeah, that's all I'm seeing right now. It looks like Eli's car is pretty clean.
Yeah, just have some minor damage to his rear. I don't think anyone's left here.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, everybody's damaged. We're good.
Yeah, it wouldn't be Martinsville if everyone had a clean car, but big fight behind. That's the 48 of Jeff Wright and Alex Bell. They're door-to-door out of turn 4. And right behind him, that's Bruce Boyer. I haven't talked a whole lot about him tonight, but there's Jordan Ashland, who was the first caution tonight, got it all sorted out. Back up towards the front, got involved in a collision a little while ago, but he's trucking through and sitting in 9th right now. Oh, Boyer up the racetrack in turns 3 and 4.
Jordan just cracking the top 10, up to 9th now. He clears Boyer there, so we'll keep an eye on him. Not a hard charging car, like what Banks has under the car, but keep an eye on him. I'm sure he'll be in the top 5 for the end of this.
Fight now for 10th place. It's Robert Gaba. And remember, he got turned around earlier off the nose of the 77, so he's trying to fight his way back forward. He's been quick all night, looking for a career best finish this evening. But up front, it's Zach Halpern, Joshua Banks, Eli Hinton. Can throw a blanket over them. They're 1, 2, and 3, and just a 1/10.5 separating each one.
Yeah, I'm not shocked here. I missed, the whole race because I had the technical issues, but I'm surprised Banks isn't getting around here, around him any quicker than he has. I mean, he's by far the fastest car. I'm pretty surprised here.
Yeah, he was back in 17th about 30 laps ago after that incident that he had, so he's done a pretty good job climbing up. There's a knock to the rear bumper of the 20, so he's leaning on him, but it might cost him a position as Eli Hinton gets a great run out of turn 4. To the inside he comes, and then behind him, Adam Cabot going for 5th on Casey Lakatos.
Yeah, and Hinton now looking to the inside. Can't get it in. He's going to have to slot in behind Banks, and no change up front for them.
Cabot and Lakatos still fighting out of turn 4, and Jeff Wright, he got turned around earlier. He's looking to get himself back into the mix.
Yeah, he's missing the whole back end of his car. Not surprised there. Like I said, everybody's got damage, but we'll see if the handling actually affects him. I mean, we got, 70 to go here at the line, so business is picking up, I think.
We don't need the back bumpers, we just need the front ones to knock each other out of the way. The back bumper, it's good if you don't have a back bumper because no one can hit you. So I think he's going to be in a good spot later in this race. Hinton drifting out of turn 2. We'll save it and continue, but that was a big power slide there. Banks is now putting the pressure on Halpert again. We saw him lay the bumper earlier, and he got back off, but I think this 35 wants it more than we know.
Yeah, I think this is good now that Hinton has a gap between him and Banks, so Banks can try to make a move here and doesn't have to worry about losing a position.
Yeah, it looks like Banks is actually getting into the corner a little better as he gets the curb again. Zach is beating him off, so, I mean, he beats him in, loses off, so they seem like they're pretty even there.
That's Chris Parkman, the number 19. Caution's out again. It's going to be for the 9th time tonight. 35 caution laps. The 19 is going to spin, and we were talking about he had a good race going. Got caught up in the last caution there. He'll be able to stay on the lead lap just barely as the field rolls out of turn 4. Let's take a look. Yeah, looks like this is the same scenario that we've been seeing most of the night. And he didn't even clip the curb here. He just powers up just slightly offline and spins out all on his own.
Oh, guys are really checking, and man, Lakatos and Wright there just got into each other on the entry.
Let's take a quick look at that because I was still coming back from the replay. Yep, and Alex Bell got a piece of it too. We've been seeing that all night, slowing down to pit road speed. It's 35 miles an hour around here. It's slow when you're coming down from 50 or 60 as pace speed. It can be a real jolt to a lot of these cars. So pit stops underway. And you could easily go to the end on fuel from here, I'd imagine, but the question is, you're going to want tires. They seem to be like they've been important tonight. Ryan Chambliss rolling off in the lead here, guys. Didn't stop.
Yeah, he may have missed his pit stall.
So Hinton beats Ortega off the pit road, but doesn't beat Banks and Halper. But Jeff Wright is going to come out in front, and he took 2 tires, guys.
Yeah, I'm really curious of how that car is going to hook up. I mean, your lefts are a little worn, so the rears, I mean, you got to get them all heated up and equal. So we'll see if that's going to affect them really, not on entry but exit. So we'll keep an eye on that. I don't know about that 2-player stop though.
Here's an interesting stat for you guys. Not a single Ford in the top 15. I know there's not a lot running out here, guys, but
I think there's only one.
Yeah, I think that's the 27 of Jordan Ashland, who's.
No, he's in a Chevy.
Oh, Ashland's in a Chevy, too.
The only Ford that I saw was Liam Sheen, and I don't think he even started the race.
Did not start for Sheen, so not a single.
No, he did start the race, but retired after 4 laps.
Yeah, so no, last season there was an absence of Toyotas. Now the absence seems to be in the Ford. I do think the Mustang coming out in a couple months, will probably transfer some teams over, so we might see the manufacturer differences come back up again. But right now it's Chevy, Toyota, Toyota, Chevy, Toyota, your top 5.
Yeah, Chambliss coming back in, and actually Jeff Wright as well took 2 tires, so teammates trying to work together here, took 2 tires, so I'm really curious how that's going to work.
All right, 1 to green here. Jeff Wright's going to be on the front row alongside Zach Halpern, Joshua Banks, Eli Hinton. This is as far back as Hinton's been all night, Finian, the outside of row number 2. I think Banks is still sitting in a good spot. He can get around the 20 car. He was the car he was battling prior to the yellow flag, and Jeff Wright's on older tires on the left side, so maybe Banks can use this opportunity to get the lead. Green flag's back in the air. We're racing here at Martinsville. Oh, right in front of the leaders! No!
Oh, man.
And hard impact for the 20 car. Caution's out again. Do we have another car turn around? I don't see anybody stopped. Oh, man, that was a big impact, it looked like.
Yeah, I mean, the 20 put himself in this situation. I mean, it was a tight squeeze between 35 and 48, but, I mean, eventually you got to stop. And, I mean, Banks, there really nothing Banks could have done there, man.
Yeah, he tried to fit in a hole that existed for a moment, but just, there was some net code at play there. But Hinton got a door of the rear bumper of the 20 car there. Big hit to the inside, though. And Alex Bell got a piece of it, too.
Yeah, I mean, you put yourself in that situation if you're going to be making moves like that. I know it's getting late in the race, and guys are just trying to do what they think they need to do, at least. But I don't think that's something... It could have been avoided, but, hey, it is what it is, man, and you just got to roll with it.
Caution out immediately. I don't think we'll see any pit stops this time through. We didn't even go half a lap there, so I think everyone's going to be happy with where they are, except for the 20. The Zach Halpern needs to come on down and fix damage. Again, that's a concrete wall he hit. That's going to hurt the car quite a bit.
Oh, and big news, the 35 was put at fault for that, and he will be parked for that being his second caution.
That is huge, guys. That is big news. So that's the second instance. That's a parking?
Yep.
And that is a disqualification for the 35 of Joshua Banks, and you have to hate it for him. I think he could have won this race, guys. And we talk about it, Joshua Banks having bad luck here and there, but he got put in a bad situation there, I would argue, and that's gonna hurt his night for sure. And I'm sure there'll be some discussion over that one. But either way, 2 cautions, you're out, and Banks hit that limit. Man, and you know what? We keep talking about this, but all the guys that have been climbing up to the front keep getting themselves into trouble. Whether it's been Banks, whether it's been Cabot or Gaba, or Halpern. Who else are we missing here? All these drivers have been climbing to the front. Elliott Butler's been kind of bouncing back and forth. We've seen so many drivers get up to the front and then go right to the back. Jeff Wright, another one of those guys, he's fought his way back to the front through some clever strategy. But 35's still out on track, so maybe he's arguing this one, Finian.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, too. He's trying to protest it.
And I don't blame him. I mean, that's a tricky situation. I don't think I would 100% put that on Banks. The 20 kind of fit himself in a hole, but it's.
I would call it a racing incident.
Oh yeah, I'd agree. I mean, I think there was there's always calls that are going to be questionable, and we've seen that in the past. Remember a few weeks ago at Dover, the 3-wide racing league, when we had changing lanes before the restart, when the guy really didn't even technically change lanes. So there's always going to be some disagreement on some calls, but you got to be heavy-handed, and you got to, there are some people on track that would disagree with us, and we're not, we're just broadcasting the thing. So, some people have a different opinion on that, but he's staying in line, so it's possible this was reversed. He might just be arguing it for now, or he might just be running and not get points. I don't know what the situation is, but he's still on track.
Indeed, looks like he's going to take the green, so I guess he's going to keep it.
Well, I'll see what the boys do up in the booth. We're coming to the green flag, though, less than 60 to go.
Green flag flies again, and we're racing again here. Jeff Wright gets a great restart. Eli Hinton's on the outside. Does he have any lingering damage from that contact? Banks to the inside, trying to get around him. And 3 wide out of turn 2. Alex Bell on the outside, getting shuffled back.
Yeah, DD's trying to place in line. They go back double file, but up to the front, these guys are going at it.
Door to door out of turn 4. Here comes Reggie Ortega and the Hertz number 2 car. He wants a piece of this as well.
Yeah, this is like me and my good buddy Reggie, buddy. I'm telling you, he's moving up there, and this is one of the tracks, just like Bristol. Reggie really seems to strive on these short tracks, so he's not out of it by any means.
Banks leaning on the side of the 13 out of turn 4. He wants to get the spot back, and it might be all for naught, but he's trying for now. Bruce Boyer to the inside of Casey Licatis for... they're in trouble out of turn 2. The whole field's stacking up, and somehow we get through here without making a big mess.
Great job.
Oh, we got another spinner in turn 4, and it's the 14. Bruce Boyer spun around in turn 4. No? Who was that? Was the 14?
I have no clue.
Was the 14. He reset back to the pits here.
Oh.
And this was the 29 of Ronis onto his inside. And Ronis just gets in there. There was a big chunk of net code at play there, about 1.5 feet worth. But let's go back and look at this incident out of turn 2, because this was a gaggle. Yeah, the 14 ran the 50 up the racetrack. They got together. Then they come down to turn 3. The 29 gets to the inside of the 14. The 14 turns on down, and around he goes.
Yeah, it's real unfortunate, too. I mean, Boyer's been pretty clean most of the night, and it just looked like he just came down into 29. But, I mean, netcode played an issue, too. But overall, it sucks to see that, because I know Boyer's a pretty talented guy, so hopefully he can get all that damn...
Oh, and Banks off the track.
Yeah, Banks is going to eventually roll over to that DQ. I'm sure he's not happy about it, but that's going to be it for the 35. And Vinny, remember back to Indianapolis a couple months ago when he was running so well and had internet issues? He ended up winning. I think, was that at Richmond that he ended up winning, Finian? But he had a good night one night, took home a victory. But he has had horrible luck ever since then and has been unable to get himself back to victory lane.
Yeah, tough break for him.
All right, let's take a look at our top 5 here. Jeff Wright, his car's all torn to pieces. Eli Hinton's is looking a little worse for wear now, but sitting right behind them, guys. Reggie Ortega in 3rd now. The only damage he has is on the rear bumper. That doesn't mean a whole lot. His front's all clean and clear. It's filthy, though. He's been driving through a lot of mess tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he's had some bad luck. I mean, didn't he win the award last season in VRL Cup Series for the most unluckiest driver? But hopefully I didn't jinx my buddy there. We'll see how well he does, though. It's nice to see him up there, though, man. It really is.
Yeah, under 50 laps to go, starting getting down to the nitty-gritty. And Jeff Wright's back up front. Looks like he's been able to hold on for a little bit off of the 13, but we'll see what he can do. And how about Angel Rodas now up into 5th place?
Yeah, he's been itching his way up there. Butler's getting up there. Josiah, he started 6th, he's 7th. He hasn't really gone anywhere, so.
He's had an interesting night. He went to the back a couple times. He's missing the whole front clip of his car, or at least for me. So that car's looking worse for wear, but he's still running and sitting in 7th. But, guys, it looks like a typical Martinsville race. Not a whole lot of cars without some damage on them. I think the 2 car is the best-looking car in the field.
I think I would have to agree with you on that.
All right, pace car pulls off, guys. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty here. Less than 50 laps to go. Jeff Wright, Eli Hinton, Reggie Ortega, Adam Cabot, and Angelo Ronis, your top 5, are racing here again at the paperclip.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to clear him here, maybe. We'll see. Eli worked earlier on the outside, so we'll see what he can do there on the outside.
Not able to make it stick this time. Into the wall out of turn 2. That's Adam Cabot, but he's going to get himself clear. Hinton to the outside in turn 3. Maybe he'll try to make it roll here, but here comes Ortega down to the inside out of turn 4.
Yeah, Ortega's there. He wants it. He's still barely got a fender there as they go off into turn 1.
Hinton leaving him the room, but behind Cabot and Butler fighting hard. There's Ronis trying to grab a spot back after Butler ran the outside lane, but that battle for a second. Oh, turn behind him. Gabba around again, and caution's back out here, lap 175. Everyone coming to a complete dead stop. Traffic jam in turn 4. Yeah, this is the second time Gabba's been turned tonight, and previously, I think it was off the bumper. I don't remember who was off the bumper up, but this time it was Josiah Vincent, and it gets him turned around.
Yeah, it looked like he may have came down a little bit. Looked like he went down at least maybe a half lane. Josiah didn't change his lane, so that's going to be a tough call.
Yeah, we'll see how it gets called here. I don't know if I don't think the Ford has been at fault for anything else tonight, so even if they did call that on him, I don't think it would affect him too much. But pit stops for a couple drivers. Ronas down on pit lane, definitely needs to service that car. The front end's all torn off on that thing. But guys, this race is, the first half was pretty clean, but the intensity has picked up, and since then we've had a whole rash of cautions. We're up to number 12 now, 51 laps under yellow, but 14 lead changes through all that chaos.
Yeah, indeed, and I think that's only going to go up. Hopefully, lead changes, hopefully not for the cautions, but yeah, it's really starting to pick up here towards the front of the field. Sorry, Ortega almost getting ahead of Hinton, but I don't think he's had, he was able to get ahead of Hinton.
Yeah, Ortega does have second place. Here's the interesting thing is that Ortega and Hinton have been the only two guys that have been up front the entire night. Everyone else around him has been up or down, has gotten spun out, went to the back, come back up to the front, but Ortega and Hinton, I don't know if we can say which one is a clear favorite yet, but both of them have been up front all night and have done a stellar job keeping their cars towards the front half of the field.
Yeah, I'm real curious to see what Ortega's going to do here. I mean, 48 again, like most of the other restarts, he's going to get the jump. So that's Ortega. He's going to have to be on his game here because 13's going to jump it in there and get to his inside at some point.
Actually, you know what? Let's if we don't get one to green here, we'll try to talk to him. I don't know how much longer we're going to have, but let's see on the pace car. Pace car lights are not out. Let's go grab him and talk to him real quick, and we'll let Andrew do this one just like last night.
Ortega?
Yep. Have at it, Andrew.
Hey, Reggie, my buddy! It's Andrew up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you. Go ahead.
Hey, what's going on, man? You got a little rear damage there. At some point during the race, you had a little contact, but overall, you really do. It seems like have one of the cleanest cars, if not the cleanest. What's going through your head here, man? I mean, you fell back a little at the start. You got back up there. I mean, what's the plan here, man? What's going through your head?
Right now, just hoping I can get around the 48 right now and at least get a good start. I could tell I'm definitely better in the center than these guys, so we'll see what's up right here.
All right, buddy. We got one to green here. We're going to let you go. Thanks for talking, and good luck, buddy. Put the hammer down. You got it.
Thank you.
All right, Ortega running as good as he has all night, up in second place alongside 48 of Jeff Wright, and it's Eli Hinton, Adam Cabot, Elliott Butler inside the top 5. Coming back to the green flag. We're going to have 40 laps to go at the green flag here, and the 48 launches. We're racing again. Hinton does not get a good restart. He's got the 6 of Butler all over his rear bumper down into turn 1. Ortega gets clear. He's going to slot into second. And remember, Jeff Wright's still on 2 tires, I believe.
Yeah, surprising that he can keep it up there.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't had enough of a green flag run for his tires to wear enough, so we'll have to see if we do get a long run, if he's going to still be able to hold it. Other than that, otherwise, Ortega's in the prime position.
Cabot crosses over the 13. He's going to go for the 3rd spot, but I think Eli's going to get the run off the corner. 77 does a good job holding it. He'll have a run down into turn 3 and be able to pull alongside, but just not going to be enough overlap to make the pass complete yet. But he's holding serve on the inside.
Yeah, Eli, I mean, he was pretty fast early. He's, I don't know if it's the damage he's got or what, but I'm really surprised to see him falling back here.
I think he's not able to get the speed on that outside lane like he was earlier in the race. I think maybe he might have gotten too rubbered up out there, that he just can't roll off the corner better than the other guys on the bottom.
Yeah, it definitely seems like he was better on the greener racetrack earlier tonight, so struggling now. They're losing a lot of space to the... Oh, he gets turned and somehow saves it, but he's in the fence out of 2. Butler slides, almost gets into him, but chaos out of turn 2. Now they get down to turn 3. The 6 car locks up. Everyone's stacked up in turn 3. We're 3 wide out of turn 4.
Yeah, Mark Emerson on the outside. Whoa, everyone checking up, and somehow we made it through that
Oh,
alive.
I wouldn't speak too soon. Finney in the 4 car and 20. They're together. They spin in turn 2. Caution out again.
Oh, boy.
Big mess out of turn 2 again. The whole field's going to have to stop to miss this one. And that was a crash for about a lap and a half.
Ooh. Oh, man.
And that was a long time coming. Let's go all the way back to the issue with the 13. And they got together, the 77 and the 13 get together, and then the 4 car of Josiah Vincent is trying to be opportunistic here, gets to the inside. He gets some help. He gets into the back of the 19 here a little bit. Now everyone's 3 wide around him. And they get down to turn 1 here, and he pulls across the nose of the 20, gets some contact there, then gets into the back of the 20, and then he spins right in front of Emerson, and everyone gets collected.
Yeah, the way I think he got into the 20 in a very angry-looking way, and I'm not sure if it was something brewing from before that, but I was looking right before they got into turn 1. The 20 had a little bit of a rub with him, so I don't know if Josiah got annoyed with that, but he looked...
Yeah, he drove in there pretty hard, Finney, and I agree.
Yeah.
That was a pretty aggressive-looking contact, but again, the whole field wadding up, and Ronis gets probably one of the worst ends of that. Jeremiah Vincent, he'd been keeping his nose clean most of the day. Then Mark Emerson gets more contact at the end of that mess. So there is definitely some tempers flaring out there, but that's typical Martinsville.
Yeah, there's no doubt about what happened there. We all saw it with our own eyes, but you know, guys putting other drivers in them positions, and he drove it in there and got into them, and Josiah didn't appreciate it.
A couple of guys came to pit road, and Eli Hinton was the first of them, I believe, so he'll have some fresh tires. Maybe he had a chance to fix some of that damage. But all in all, that car's in decent shape considering the issue out of turn 2 got into the concrete. No safer barrier there, but he looks like he'll restart 7th or better as Lakatos comes to pit road now. But up the road, Reggie Ortega still sitting in 2nd. Guys, he's probably the best looking car. I think Adam Cabot's car is okay too, at least in the nose. But I think it's the 2 and the 77 now that are probably in the best spots.
Keep an eye on that 13 car, though, man. He's got them 4 fresh tires, and I think these guys under green have definitely put up, you know, at least 15 laps on the tires. So definitely don't count him out, man. Keep an eye on that 13 car.
I think
this is going to be interesting.
I think if the race goes green, I think it's the 13's race. But I'm not sure if it's going to do that. We've seen the aggression level pick up, and the longer runs have not been coming later here in this race. So I'd still put the guys out front in the best spot. Remember, Jeff Wright's on old tires too. His left sides are ancient at this point. Take a look at laps since pit. It's been 35 laps since he changed 2 tires. But it doesn't seem to be affecting him on these short runs. No one has enough time to get around him. So, interesting scenario here. We're going to have 30 to go at the restart, guys. And the aggression level's picked up. I don't expect it to go away at this point.
Should we pick somebody? Like you said, watch that 13, man. I'm keeping an eye on him on this restart.
All right, I'll pick Reggie Ortega if you got the 13. Finney, you got a choice?
I think probably the 48 of Jeff Wright. He's looking pretty strong up in the front.
All right, green flag back in the air, and the 48's going to get a good restart. Ortega gets a great launch, though, out of turn 4. They'll be door-to-door down into turn 1, but now the 48 gets clear. Cabot to the inside, trying to get a nose in the inside there.
Ooh, got very close to getting into Ortega. Had to back off, and now he's got Halpern to the outside of him.
Behind Elliott Butler, Gaba, and Adam Cabot all lined up on the inside. Hinton and the 20 car of Halpern on the outside.
We're going to see how patient these guys can be here with Fort. We got a caution.
Ronis spun out of turn 4, and caution again. So this is what I'm talking about. And Hinton did get up 1 spot up to 6th. But if the cautions keep flying like this, it's going to be hard for those tires to be worth anything. Once you get heat cycles on them, won't be worth anything at all. Ronis, all by himself, clips the curb out of turn 4. I've seen that about 4 or 5 times tonight.
I think the only tracks you want to be clipping the curb is the road courses.
Yep.
Yeah, dude. I want to see a count on how many cautions we had coming out of turn 4, because there's been a lot.
Well, we've had about 14 cautions, so I'd say split it down the middle. I'd say we've had 5, 6, or 7 down there. All right, cautions out.
You guys are definitely hitting the curbs. What do you think? Should we pull Jeff up here?
Yeah, let's pull Jeff up here. We'll talk to him.
See what's going through his head, huh?
We'll let you do this one, too, here, Andrew.
Hey, Jeff Wright. It's Andrew up in the booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Yeah, I got you. How you doing?
Hey, man, how's the car from here? You don't have a rear end, but obviously that's not affecting you much. But back to that, how is the car running with the damage different than what it was at the start? And, I mean, what's your plan here? Obviously, you're trying to run away, but the 2 seems like he's keeping up with you. So what's the plan here, man?
Yeah, I know it's going to be tough to do. I mean, these cautions, they kind of help me. I mean, if we can get closer towards the end where nobody can pit. I know the 13 took 4, so if he gets through here, I'm probably done for. The 2's fast, but yeah, I'm driving a dump truck right now, a 2-tire dump truck, and it's just way tighter in the center now, like just not rolling very good, but I'm doing all that I can to try to keep it out front, try to get to victory.
Yeah, you've been real consistent up there, and yeah, man, just keep doing what you're doing, plug it away, and yeah, keep an eye on that 13. I'm not trying to put any pressure on you, but hey, just keep doing what you're doing and hit your marks, buddy, and bring her home.
Will do. Thank you.
All right, so that was Jeff Wright, your leader here, driving the number 48 Toyota Camry, and Ortega sitting in second, Cabot in third. And how about that 77, guys? Haven't talked a whole lot about him, but he was our pole sitter tonight, was quickest in practice. And his car is relatively clean. Again, on the nose, I don't think the rear end's all that great shape, but at least he's got a bumper cover there. Some drivers like the 48 are missing it, so he's got body work left on this thing. The 20 car all destroyed in the outside lane. He'll be restarting in fourth. And Gaba and Eli Hinton fifth and sixth.
Yeah, I'm really surprised to see the 20 up there after, you know, what happened with him and Josiah. I mean, that car is bent up. So, I don't know, man. If I'm anybody right now, I want to be Eli, but he needs it to go green here. So hopefully these guys give a little room. Easy to say, hard to do. So.
Yeah, and I mean, with the amount of cautions we had, the more and more that come out, he's losing a lot of time. Like right now, we're about to go green. Here, coming with just over 20 laps to go. We got the restart 30 to go, so he needs these long green front runs. I don't think he needs a caution at all from here on to the end of the race.
I think not having a caution from here on out is extremely unlikely, given that we've had a majority of the cautions in the latter half of the race, and I don't think the aggression level is going to go down at this point. It's 20 to go. It's time to lean on each other if you haven't all night. The guys have been saving up their good luck charms. They're going to use them up now. Coming out of turn 4, 48 car Jeff Wright's going to lead him back to the green. Big stack up there on the start. Everyone really close together. Ortega gets a good launch, but not good enough to be on side by side with Wright down into turn 1.
Yeah, Reggie was definitely anticipating that. I mean, that's why that explains the checkup, and everybody's expecting him to go. You got to go, right?
I mean, it's go time now. Yeah, like I said, you got to start leaning on people. If you've been nice all night, you saved up your nice guy cards, you're going to start playing them now. And Cabot didn't get a great launch. He's got Zach Halpern to his outside still as they work their way down through turns 1 and 2. And Hinton, he's got to be beating and banging now. He's been nice all night, but now it's time to get rough. I mean, you got not a whole lot of time left. Here he's going to go to the inside of the 75 of Gaba. He's got to make up these spots now because he's only going to have 20 to go here in a couple laps. Oh, Ashland in the fence out of turn 4 alongside Jeremiah Vincent, but he'll maintain the straight wheel. But for the lead, Reggie Ortega still sitting right behind that leader. Don't know if he's got enough pace to get around him, but he's certainly putting pressure on.
He's looking really strong again. I think he might. Oh,
here he comes.
Here.
Up on the outside lane. Maybe he'll try to turn down and cross him over out of the exit. Looks like, oh, the 48's gonna stay low. Here he comes. Wow, he slips and slides out of turn 2. Drives down into turn 3 on the outside lane, trying to build a run to get around the 48, but doesn't have enough momentum to do it just yet. 20 to go, make it 19 here at Martinsville.
Yeah, tapped in mid-corner here. I think he's trying to make this outside lane work. I don't think he feels like the car is good enough on the inside.
Keep an eye, that 13 car got clear of Elliott Butler and Robert Gaba. Again, he's got way fresher tires than everybody in front of him by about 30 to 40 laps. So that 13 car, excuse me, is going to be coming forward quickly. Ortega, though, he's lost the pressure, and now Adam Cabot's starting to put some pressure on the 2 car as well. So the front 3 closing in, and actually Zach Halpern has closed up in addition.
Yeah, it's top 4 entirely has started to close in on each other. So there's going to be a big race between them. Here comes Ortega.
Here he comes again.
Up on the outside of Jeff Wright, and now he's going to have a better run at a turn 2, and he's going to be alongside the door panel of the 48. Drives off into turn 3. 48's going to clear, but here comes the 77 to Cabot. Tries to stick nose in there, can't do it. Ortega looks to the outside out of turn 4.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm Ortega, you're gonna have to get on the 48's door here. You're gonna have to run a little lower, be a little easier on the. I mean, he's beating him on exit here, so we'll see what's gonna happen here in 30.
He's going to try to go the long way around. It's the hard way to do it here at Martinsville, but otherwise you're going to have to knock a guy out of the way, but he's got to be careful because Cabot is coming. 48's loose out of turn 4. Here comes Ortega on the outside now.
Ortega helped him a bit. He gave him a little bit of tap and sent the 48 loose. Here he comes. He's going to get a big run off of 2 here.
Oh, 77's loose behind. And he's crashed on the back straightaway. Caution's out.
I believe Ortega might actually have the lead here.
He might. I think he got ahead, guys. He's still scored as the leader now. Caution's out.
Let's see here. They're still side by side here. I'm just really curious. I know we had that wreck with the 77. I'm real curious if he got the lead.
I think he is.
Yeah, he did, my boy!
Scored as the leader here. 14 to go. Let's take a look at the caution. It was the 77 of Cabot that got turned around.
Oh, man, I wonder if they're going to pit.
All right, let's take a look. And this is out of turn 2. Cabot was all over the rear bumper. And maybe got some help from Halpern. No?
No, he didn't. He just got involved by himself, but Eli Hinton did a fantastic job avoiding that.
Let's look on board from the 13. Oh, man, he had to turn left hard to miss that. But he did, and he's through. All right, guys, so if they come down to pit road, actually, at this point, I wouldn't. I would stay out. I mean...
No, none of the top 5 did. In fact, most of the drivers actually stayed out.
All right, so that's going to put Jeff Wright in second, Halpern third, Hinton fourth. And I think Hinton would be in a much better spot if he was position number 3. So he's gonna it's gonna be a tall order for him to get up there. We're gonna have about 10 to go at the restart. But guys, if like I said, if you use up your nice guy cards now, you're gonna start getting the return favor here at the end. So the guys that have been beating and banging on the bumpers all night, they might get the payback. The guys that have been nice all night, they're gonna start using their fenders because the time for payback is running out.
Yeah, let's hope it goes green, though. I really hoping this goes green here. And it's really nice to see Reggie up here. I mean, he got the outside lane to work, guys. So that really well for him. Them guys raced really clean up there. So that was a good battle. Yeah, that outside lane, now that it's rubbered up, it definitely seems like a more viable line than it was before. So I think we're going to see the outside lane be more competitive, but not on the restarts, though, Finian. I mean, it seems like that guy on the inside has a huge advantage and can get a great launch out of turn 4 that the outside guy just can't match.
Yeah, and I think that's definitely going to be what Ortega needs to do. He has to make sure he doesn't spin the tires, and he has to make sure he gets a good restart and ahead of that 48.
You guys remember where Reggie Ortega started? 21st. Been a good night for the 2-car.
Yeah, same also for Zach Halpern in the 20. Started in 20th and is up into 3rd. In fact, actually, I'm looking through most of these guys.
A lot of people.
Yeah. Elliot Butler started in 19th. He's up into 5th. Jeremiah Vincent started in 22nd. He's up to 6th. Jordan Ashland started in 27th. This is moved up into 7th. Clifton Cockrell started in 23rd. He's up into 8th. And Brian Chambliss started in 26th. He's up into 9th.
Wow. I mean, and a lot of these guys have damage on their cars. It has not been clean and green tonight. And but the best-looking car in terms of damage is out front right now. It's the 2-car of Ortega. That car is filthy. It's got oil and tire rubber and dirt all over it. But the prettiest cars are the ones that are out front, right, Andrew?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, we're coming to green here real quick. If I'm the 2-car, I'm not gonna jump too early, but I'm gonna get enough jump, and I'm not gonna stack the field up. All he's got to do is clear the 48 and get a good run off of 2 and get the hell out of there.
Green flag back in the air. Ortega gets a good launch. And he'll clear the 48.
Buddy.
10 to go here at Martinsville.
Yeah, he's going to be clear of them. Behind them, though, Hinton and the 20 of Halpern, they're side by side. They're
caution.
Their caution back out in the air.
Josiah Vincent and the 11 of Eddie Trejo spun in turn number 1. And I don't think Hinton got 3rd away, so that's going to burn the 13 car again. Let's take a look at the incident. This is 75, the 4-car. Oh, yeah, 75 just drove in there too hard. Gets into the 4, spins him around, and Trejo just had to come to a stop to miss the 4. So another 2-car incident down in turn number 1. But now, if you're
it looked like 75 definitely drove in there.
If you're Eli Hinton, though, Finney, you got to be upset at this point. I mean, you got fresh tires.
Oh man, he was so close.
And all you gotta do is be in 3rd, and you're in a catbird seat to win the race. But sitting in 4th, that's going to be darn near impossible with 5 laps to go to get the win.
Yeah, he was so close to getting ahead of Halpern. I'm actually surprised he didn't score him ahead. They were that close. Side by side went at the moment of caution.
And the 77 of Adam Cabot has been disqualified for the cautions incidents as well. So 77 car, the 2nd car on tonight to be parked for causing 2 or more yellows. And we'll take a look at the cautions, and it's been 16 of them tonight, 72 laps under yellow. In the first half of the race, guys, we only had 3 or 4, but they've all come in the latter half as the intensity is picked up, and I don't think we're quite done yet.
No, we're not. I mean, all Reggie's got to do is just get the jump. That's all he's got to do, and beat him into turn 1 and the exit. Get a good exit jump off of 2. And, man, as a car owner, I got my guys in 2nd and 3rd, but my buddy, he's going to pull it off. I mean, he's on a big winless streak here.
Yeah, and last night he was so close. He's about a 10th behind the 13 of Hinton when he came across the line to win last night in the Virtual Racing League race at Bristol. And if you missed that, it's on the channel. The last, really, if you go to about an hour and 11 minutes into the race, that's the last 50 or so laps. And what a race that was on a setup that was unstable and loosey-goosey, and drivers had to drive really hard not to crash their stuff. And Hinton, Josiah Vincent, and Reggie Ortega fought and battled in an absolute dogfight for the last bit of that race last evening. So that was really exciting. Anyway, also next Wednesday is the Spec MX5 Sim Racing Challenge round number 2. from Summit Point Raceway. That's going to be Wednesday on the Winding Road Magazine channel. We'll be broadcasting that, so go find your way over to Winding Road Magazine, and that link is already up there. So hit like, hit the little bell to remind you on Wednesday night, 8:20 p.m. We'll be live for that for round 2 of the Spec MX-5 Sim Racing Challenge. We're at the end of the year. We'll crown somebody champion and give them a choice of 3 prizes valued at each at over $4,000. So again, Winding Road Magazine YouTube channel. Go over there, visit there, hit that bell button, and be ready for an absolute dogfight. Summit Point Raceway Wednesday night. All right, Jeff Wright sitting in second. He's not in a great spot, but I think that 20 car, Zach Halpern, is fitting, and I think he'll be in a great spot. Maybe use that bumper on the 2 car.
Yeah, I think that's all these guys can really resort to. I think the pace car light should go off this time by, and that's going to mean we're going to have 2 laps to go. I'm doing my math right. Yeah, it should be, yep, 2 laps to go in this race. So if a caution comes out with 1 to go, it's going to be race over. If caution comes out with a white flag, we're going to race it out. Actually, there wouldn't be a caution. We're just going to race it out. So all Ortega really needs to do, he just needs to make sure he gets this restart.
All right, he's got to be perfect these last couple laps. He's going to have Zach Halpern breathing down his neck. It's 1 mile to end this race here. 30 seconds worth of racing. We'll see if Reggie Ortega can break his winless streak out of turn 4. The 2 car alongside the 48 of Jeff Wright. Zach Halpern. Great restart here for the 2 car, but also for the 48. He crosses him over down into turn 1. They're nose to tail. Here comes the 20 alongside. The 13 car gets turned. He's going to spin in turn 2, right in front of the pack. No caution. Reggie Ortega.
He's off the racing surface.
Reggie Ortega out up front. Jeff Wright sitting in second behind as they come back to the white flag.
Yeah, they come white flag in there. They're going to race it out to the line. What is the 48 got?
1 more lap, half a mile for Reggie Ortega to pick up a checkered flag for the first time this season.
Marks, buddy.
And for the first time and the last time. The 20 car, the Zach Halpern car, too far away. Jeff Wright not close enough, out of turn 4. Martinsville's going to go to Reggie Ortega. He's going to pick up a win after a long winless streak and visit Victory Lane here in Virginia.
Yeah, Reggie! Man, you don't understand how happy I am for him, man. You don't understand. You can hear him on the radio right now. He is going berserk. Congratulations to him, man. Well-deserved.
We had a crash down in turn number 1 after the checkered flag, and it was the 50 of Casey Lakatos involved with somebody. There's crashes all over the racetrack here. I think there's some people upset with each other. 50 car Lakatos came down here and went after the 19, turned him around, and then just up the road, I thought there was somebody else that was involved. I think it was Lakatos and the 29 Aronis got turned as well after the checkered flag.
Yeah, I think there were a lot of people not happy with each other during the race.
15 and the 8
just kind of bowl over.
The 29 was a victim. The 15 and the 8 were going at it, but we'll head back out live to catch Ortega's burnouts here, guys. What a victory for the 2 car. He earned that one. That was a hell of a race for the 2 car.
Yeah, he kept it clean all race, man. This is my buddy.
And the only scratches on that car are on the rear. And you're going to burn it down on the front straightaway after a long winless streak. And Reggie Ortega will visit Victory Lane. There's a lot of storylines to follow here, some drama in the late race stages. How about the 13 car getting turned, Finian? I mean, that's got to be a tragic situation for him. 17th place finish. And we got to go back and find out what happened to him. I'm sure there'll be some words discussed about that one. All right, let's find the 13 and how this all happened.
And tail of netcode between him and the 20. They were running just side by side, and I think the 20 moved up just a little bit. There was still space, but the netcode got him, and around the 13 went.
Yep, and that's, not a whole lot you can do if you're either of those 2 cars. I mean, that's the nature of racing on the internet. That's going to happen occasionally, and sometimes it works in your favor, and sometimes it doesn't, but I'm trying to get a better look at it here. And here's another look. And I think Hinton hadn't been farther back than 4th all night, and yeah, big netcode, about 1.5 feet worth there. Almost had it saved, but lost it and will come home 17th. So disappointing finish for Eli Hinton. But Reggie Ortega will take home the victory. Here's a look at your results tonight. Ortega, Jeff Wright, Zach Halpern. Good night for the Dark Smoke guys. Jordan Ashland 4th after starting way in the back and having issues. Elliot Butler comes home for 5th. Jeremiah Vincent, Alex Balshambliss, Ronas, and Chris Parkman, your top 10. Then Clifton Cockrell, Lakatos, Emerson, Vincent, and Eddie Trejo making up your top 15. We mentioned Hinton's disappointing 17th. Martinez back in 18th. Turner 19th. And Adam Cabot, parked for incidents, will finish 20th. And there's the rest of your finishers. But guys, what a race that was.
Yeah, fantastic show from these guys. A little caution heavy in the later part of it, but still some fantastic racing all throughout the night.
All right, we're going to step away for just a moment. We'll be back in a few minutes with some interviews. Stay with us. We will be right back. Welcome back live to Sim TV. Here now with Sim Motorsports driver Eli Hinton. After coming off a win last night at Bristol, Eli, you ran great all night, but had some damage after some contact on a restart and then ended up getting turned in the closing laps, finished 17th. What happened there at the end?
Yeah, it's frustrating, you know. I thought it was probably the best car, definitely top 3 at worst, especially there at the end. But, you know, that one restart wreck, I think it was lap 158 and 159. It was the 35 and the 20, but I don't know how. Somehow I got engine damage, even though it was not even close to my engine. And it just kind of set me back the whole night. And then right there at the end, you know, thought I still had a good shot at the top 5, maybe a win if the top 2 leaders got into each other, and 20 just drove up into me and went around. Couldn't save it.
Well, it was a good night for you regardless, Eli. Obviously, the finishing position doesn't reflect that, but short tracks seem to be your stuff here. But what do you think about the next couple weeks on the schedule? I mean, we're going away from the short tracks for a little while. You think you'll still be competitive there?
Well, Texas is going to suck. I'm just going to say that. Hopefully the setup's loose, but I'm not sure where we go after that. Do you know?
I actually don't know. And I'll pull it up here in a minute, so I do know. But Eli,
yeah, I know we go to Texas next.
Yeah, again, it was a good night for you regardless. You're up front all night, but unfortunately a 17th place finish for you. And give me 1 second. I'm just looking up the next race after Texas because I'm not prepared. And
yeah, it's kind of frustrating, you know. First backup was like the whole race was 5th.
All right,
we finished 17th.
We're going to Kansas and then Richmond the next couple of weeks after Texas. So Texas, okay. Kansas, Richmond, Michigan, then Kansas road course where we expect Eli to do well. So all right, Eli, thanks for talking to us. Tough luck tonight, but we'll see you next week.
Yep, thanks for our cast.
Yep. All right, now next we'll talk to Jordan Ashland, and I'll see if he's there. There he is.
Back? Oh, okay. I was just gonna say he got pulled down with the admins, but
all right. We'll get this out of the way quick because I know Jordan, you got other more important things to do. But Jordan, a 4th place finish after tonight has got to be feeling like a victory after all you went through.
Oh my God, that was an amazing race. I was so happy I got to race in this race because I don't know, there was iRacing updates and everything before, and I just barely made it into practice. I got 10 minutes of practice. Didn't qualify because I knew I wasn't going to qualify well. I wasn't fast. I spun out earlier all by myself, hit the wall, and somehow I was on the edge of going 2 laps down, but got back. And I had so much fun missing all those wrecks, but I'm sure a lot of people didn't enjoy getting in those wrecks. But that was a very fun race to be in, and Reggie, my teammate, won. So it's so nice to hear him win again.
Did you feel like tires were very important tonight? It seemed like they were early in the race. They seemed like a lot, but then later in the race, once the caution started flying, it didn't seem like they were worth a whole lot on those short runs. What was your opinion on that?
Well, I'm not really sure, but Reggie stayed out for like the last, I don't know how many laps, and he had very, very old tires, and he ended up getting a win. And there was a lot of people doing it. What I did was just in the beginning of the race, just pitting every caution. So, no, I was very surprised he got the win on those old tires like that. Nobody came up there and passed him.
All right, well, a 4th place finish, a solid top 5 finish for Jordan Ashland. It was certainly a fight, but you got yourself up there, and thanks for talking to us. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys.
All right, next we're going to talk to Zach Halpern, driving the number 20. We talked to him mid-race, but Zach, pulling off a top 3 with how your car looked. Again, I was telling Jordan it had to feel like a victory. What's it feel like for you? I mean, a podium, not too bad after all that craziness we saw tonight.
I'm definitely not happy with the 3rd place finish. I definitely was the fastest guy on the track the whole race. Just, these guys don't know how to drive, and obviously I'm better than them, but they have to wreck me to get me out of the way. So I understand I do the same thing if I was in their position, but, good job for the 2 winning, hard fought race. It's not the easiest place to win for sure. But I'm just going to go out there next week and, do what I got to do. But I did just like what I did this week. Just go out there up front and stay up front.
Now, how much of that is the Martinsville way, and how much is too much, do you think, around a track like this?
I understand with the whole bumping, it's Martinsville. You're going to be racing close. It's close racing. There's going to be door rubbing, bumper touching. But, when it's that early in the race, I got wrecked a couple times there by people just pushing way too hard, being way too aggressive. I was patient a lot of the times in the race, and I made moves when I had to, and I made clean moves. And, I understand. Again, they were slow. They had to get me out of the way. I was way faster than them, and they sucked. So that's all I got to say about that.
All right, Zach. Well, 3rd place finish. Not a bad result for you. We'll see if you can improve on it next week. Thanks for talking.
Appreciate it. Have a good one.
You too. All right, next we're going to talk to Jeff Wright, driving the number 48 car, and a 2nd place finish for the 48 team. Jeff, it was a good race for you. We just talked to Zach. He seemed not very content with a 3rd. How about you for 2nd?
After the way this race kind of fell apart, or ended, I should say, with me being on 2 tires with the damage I had, honestly, I'm feeling pretty good about this 2nd place finish. Would have loved to have the win. There was that one caution when me and Reggie were pretty close side by side, and they gave the lead to Reggie, and that one probably pretty much gave my race away because then I was going to be on the inside. So after being on the outside for those last couple restarts, I'm pretty happy with the 2nd place finish.
And it's been a great season for you so far, and you capped it off with a win at Sonoma a few weeks ago. We go to Texas, Kansas, and Richmond the next couple weeks. What do you feel like? Do you feel like you can get a victory there?
With the new package on the 1.5 miles, it's really going to be something to learn. One track coming up, Richmond. I really like Richmond, so that's when I got circled on the calendar for sure. Maybe we can put this Wright's Feed Yard, Toyota Camry in victory lane there. But so happy for Reggie. He raced me really clean. He was on my door. And, I probably had a shot to maybe get to his bumper, move him up a little bit. But I didn't want to wreck him or wreck myself. And, he's one of the fan favorites in this league. So just really happy for Reggie. But, yeah, as far as the other tracks, short track and road course, that's what I like to race the most. And, the 1.5 miles, I kind of feel like we're a toss-up right now. So, but I'm just really enjoying this league. A lot of great guys, a lot of respect, and, just a lot of talent. And that's really fun to be a part of. Got to thank you guys for always putting on a great broadcast, as well as Andrew for recruiting me into this league and on his team. It's just been a lot of fun being in this league so far.
All right, Jeff. Well, a great finish for you in that number 48. We'll see you next week at Texas. Thanks for chatting.
Yep. See you guys. Thank you.
No problem. We're going to let Andrew take this one away with Reggie Ortega. Hey, Reggie. I'm going to let Andrew take this one away because he is really excited for you.
All right.
Out of the car, soaks us all in Monster Energy.
Hell yeah.
Fluid, kiss from the wife, holding the new baby. Buddy, I didn't think I'd be talking to you tonight. But as the race come down to the end, man, it's so nice to see you here in victory lane. You break the streak.
Hell yeah.
Not only can you win on one of the biggest tracks, Talladega, but you did it on the shortest track in NASCAR, buddy. How does it feel? What's going through your head, man? And congratulations, buddy. Take it away.
Oh, my God. Thank you, but you guys just don't know how happy I am and how thrilled, and it feels so good. It feels so good. It's been dreading me so long for the plate race that I won. I mean, I really wanted to win where I'm really good at and short tracks and stuff, and I love it here so much. I know this track so well, and God, it feels so good. You guys, you don't even know, man. It feels so good.
You had Wright breathing down your neck there. I mean, were you expecting the bumper? I mean, Wright's a clean guy, but I mean, you know, it's Martinsville. You got to do what you got to do. What were you expecting there with Wright? I mean, were you expecting the bumper? I mean, what's going through your head there when you're leading that late? You know, coming to white and you got a guy breathing down your neck.
Regardless of whatever short track it is, you know, Rubbin is racing, and no matter what, whoever it is, I was going to expect a bumper, and that's why I went down as low as I could to block him, because I knew he was going to do that. But once I saw him fading away my rear mirror, man, I knew I was good.
Well, buddy, you got the victory. You got that monkey, whatever the hell you want to call it, off your back. You're back. Yes. I am so happy and proud of you, buddy. I'm going to give you a virtual hug here. Congratulations, man. And any shout-outs you want to give here before we let
again, I want to thank you guys, you know, especially you, Andrew, for this league, you know, MTV for broadcasting, and my teammates, man. Like I said last night, they're a great group of guys, and definitely I got to thank the Clean Racing up there with Jeff, and it was really fun, man. So I really appreciate everybody.
Well, you deserve it, buddy. Go celebrate with your crew and your team. Don't drink too much. Just congratulations again, buddy, and good luck to you in the future, man.
Thank you. Hell yeah.
All right, we're going to take one more look at a couple laps to go, guys, with the number 50 car of Casey Lakatos. Supposedly there was some interesting stuff going on around the 50, so we're going to go take a look at that. Bear with me, as it's going to might take me a minute to get there. But, guys, that was a great race all around. We saw lots of bump and bang. We saw quite a few yellows, but that's just typically how Martinsville goes, guys. So, overall, I mean, who was the biggest surprise this week, do you think?
Honestly, I don't know. I would say, honestly, probably the two. I would have expected him to be up in the front, but to win in a fashion like that, and we only saw his car get better throughout the race and throughout the run, so I think he probably surprised me the most, and glad to see him back in victory lane.
All right, let's go back. I finally got the replay here. I'm not sure if I'm looking at exactly the right thing, but we're going to try. This is Casey Lakatos. There should be a couple laps to go here, and the 19 to his inside. And out of turn 2, no issue here. But down in turn 3, there was supposedly some contact. Yep, some contact with the 19. The car goes way up the racetrack, and that ended up being the checker flag right there. So the 50 car got a pretty big door at the end. But guys, I mean, overall, Martinsville, always an aggressive racetrack. We see a lot of contact here. But Reggie Ortega outlasted it, and it was because he paced himself and didn't run people over, and he gained that mutual respect, and people raced Reggie clean because he raced them clean, and that seems to be a good way to attack a place like Martinsville.
Yeah, indeed. I was curious as to what Jeff Wright was going to do at the end there, but he kept it clean, I think, because the mutual respect they had for each other. So, again, great racing towards the end. Could have been ugly a lot of times, but fantastic stuff.
Next week, we head to Texas Motor Speedway, and it's a 1.5-mile racetrack, 550 horsepower, high downforce package. Andrew, we saw it play out last week at Auto Club. What do you think it's going to be next week at Texas?
It's Texas. It's hot. It's going to be slick. We beat the big boys to the track, so we're going to see how it handles. But again, I mean, the draft is going to be obviously the biggest thing. Unfortunately, a lot of guys don't like it, but hey, we got to deal with it. And you might see a surprise. I mean, we're going to see some more first-time winners in Outsiders, I think, as we go forward. But I don't know what to expect.
Yeah,
so we'll see.
So far this season, we've had Cole Pagugno win a race, first-time winner in Outsider. Then we had week 2, it was Jeff Wright, first-time winner in Outsider. Mark Emerson returned to victory lane at Auto Club last week, and then Reggie Ortega this week. So we've had 4 different winners in the first 4 races. Finian, it's been super competitive so far this season. But who do you have your eye on for next week at Texas?
I think honestly, probably either Jeff Wright in the 48 or the 20 is Zach Halpern, because Halpern looked like he has got quite a bit of pace, has shown up, has made these last few starts. Very fast car, and I think he's looking to try to get up into victory lane because he definitely has the speed for it.
And definitely Halpern's got a little fire in his belly after this race. Definitely seemed upset with how things planned out, and he'll probably carry that grudge throughout the season. We'll follow those storylines as we get there. SimTV, or I think we're off tomorrow and Monday, Finian. So we got a couple days off. We'll be returning on Tuesday night with the Fuel Host Venom Cup Series. And then Wednesday is going to be the Spec MX-5 Sim Racing Challenge. Thursday, Scars Ferrari Challenge. We're off Friday, and then we're back on Saturday with the Outsider Racing League from Texas. That's going to do it for us tonight. My name's Kyle Heyer alongside Finian DeCuna and Andrew Talganoff. We'll see you next week at Texas. Have a great night. Thanks for watching.